What up, y'all? It's Z Nation, aka Savage on the Gentle Rapper, and welcome to another episode of the Megacolony Traphouse podcast. Today, we got a special guest.
Hello, everyone. I'm the admin of the Chaos Burger page. You probably haven't seen that page going on too much because lately life has been a thing. But, doesn't mean I don't keep up with the Vanguard scene or anything. Being a Vanguard judge and everything, I have to kind of keep my eye out. So, yeah, glad to be here.
That's true.
Yeah, it's interesting. Past few years and it's been, yeah.
I don't know. I think like most of the people like who was like in our little circle kind of like took a break after Overdress.
Yeah, a lot of people definitely did. When Overdress came out, or at least was first announced, we had a lot of people either kind of spread apart in the sense that some people quit or not quit. Some people literally retired from Vanguard, didn't want to play it anymore because it was a ridiculous thing for Bushi to, do another reboot. It was just like, oh, you already rebooted it once. Really? You're going to reboot it again? When are you going to reboot it again next afterwards? You never know. So it kind of just killed the fun factor of the game. I'm kind of in the middle of that, but it's like, it doesn't mean that, I just don't play Vanguard anymore. I'll play it, but it's more of a casual thing now rather than how I used to in terms of, build 6 different decks or, build the whatever. Now it's like, oh, I'm going to play this nation and I'll play this, thing because, the nostalgia factor, it's like that. A lot of people went kind of that route. But you still have people who come in to D-Era and it's like, oh, I'm going to build all 7 decks. It's like, okay. So, well, most of us veterans of Vanguard-wise, we probably either don't play as much, or, not don't play as much, but we don't, go ham on it. There's obviously some people that will, but some people don't.
That's actually true. I think after this whole reboot, I started downsizing the deck. So I was like, yo, let me pick a few clans that I actually want to put my most focus on, which at the moment is obviously Megacolony and Great Nature. But I also decided to put more emphasis on Tachis and more emphasis on Nubatama as well.
Right.
And everything else is pretty much I'm either playing it in one particular format or I'm playing just a particular subclan.
Yeah, it's kind of the same idea with me. V-wise, I'm a adamant Link Joker player. I'll never stop playing that. But that doesn't mean, that's my only clan. I still have Kagero as my secondary, and then Bermuda, for my competitive part of it, if I really want to go into that area of it. But again, it's one of those once you kind of start seeing things going on, it's like, yeah, I might want to downsize, just be focused on certain things and not be picky. And then it's like in D-Era, I am full rank 8. I'm a full rank 8 player, and while I don't compete as much, I'll pick up everything that I need for it. So, and then I have Overlord just because of the nostalgia factor. So.
Oh yeah, I was actually kind of surprised when they brought back Overlord, and I was like, wait, why does out of all the things they bring back is Overlord? And one of my friends who is also he's a diehard Overlord fan. Been playing since the game day 1 came out in English. He explained to me lore-wise, Overlord is a title.
Well, Overlord, I wouldn't really say it's a title. It's a person in an armor. Technically, that's the actual lore. So there's actual there's an actual manga card that shows Overlord without his armor. like it's a dragon, like it's definitely dragon, right? It's a dragon thing, but you can actually see his like what is it? There's actually a human form kind of thing. I'm not too sure. There's not 100% confirmation, but for some reason, like one of the newest cards we got in the manga, that's actually a promo. It's based off of Dragonic Overlord, technically, and they made it sound as if it's an armor-ish kind of thing. So maybe like it's a human that transformed into Dragonic Overlord, and then kind of one of those like metamorphosis things. But who knows? I mean, Vanguard lore is kind of weird half the time.
There was actually sometimes I actually wanted to like dig deep into it though, but like
Right.
I don't know like where to start and whatnot.
Start at the very beginning, and I mean there's a lot. There's definitely a lot of lore. You look at the lore from season 1, the fight between the Royals and Shadows, and then you go the next thing, the Lemon Break era with the introduction of reverse and the Maelstrom thing and the Navy thingy. And then after that, you go deep into the Void and the reverses. Yeah, it just keeps going. And then you can find like the G era lores. Like if you look at some of the main units, you can actually read some of the lore. Heck, it's on the wiki. Like some people actually put the lore on the wiki, and it's actually there if you're looking for the main grade 3s and stuff like that, or like the main units, maybe the apostles and stuff. They'll also have it. Like that's how I know a lot of the reverse lore, the reverse Link Joker lore and everything of that sort. That's kind of how I kept up with it, and it's a cool story. Like I you can really just think about it, and it's like, oh wow, they really wrote it pretty decently. Like, I'm not saying it's like 100% really good, but for Vanguard, that's not bad. Looking at that,
I believe that. To be honest, when it came to like the G era units, like I'm trying to figure out like what the hell did Altmal do? Because he's having beef with Fenrir, and he's having beef with Valios.
Well, Valios kind of. So the idea with Altmal and Valios was Fides, the sword. So really, it's the sword that's the issue, not Altmal. But Altmal inherited the sword, with that is Fides, which is a unit. But that's the spiel with that. I totally forgot about the Fenrir thing. I read it at one point, but I totally forgot. Unfortunately, I'm not a big role player, and although I did play Altmal back in the day, I just kind of lost interest in it. Roles kind of went up and down a lot, and it's just not my thing. So.
Roles like in the V series has been mad disappointing because all of the support has been towards Blaster Blade, which I understand that he's the main. He's the flagship character. He's like Dark Magician for you.
Yeah, and I mean, great on them to focus on Blaster Blade, but come on, you don't do that to Royals. Like, literally, what made me stop playing Royals was the introduction to Gancelot. Like,
oh, God.
Really? Why? Like, once I had my Monarch, so I had a Monarch deck. King of Knights Monarch deck.
Oh yeah,
it was strong. It was good. Like if you're able to pull it off, not bad. But the problem was there was some consistency issue. But that's where the Gancelot set came in. However, Gancelot didn't help the deck, considering how low power it is.
It really didn't.
Yeah, it's like, okay, give Blaster Blade a drive check by making it into a Vanguard circle. It's like, okay, but that still doesn't solve an issue. It's like, that's all it does. It's like, okay, now I have Tristan that can surge or all this other stuff. It's like, it's such a big headache, and it made Royals just kind of like a joke at that point. And then after that, it took them a while before, like, MLB comes out into play. And it's like, oh, okay, MLB is actually good. And don't get me started with like Arcsaver and Messianic Lord. It's like, and Messianic Lord was a funny card, but it didn't do anything.
Oh my god!
It was literally a one-trick pony that relies on a OTK attack. it was nothing.
And it wasn't even worth it.
No. However, having the cards though, they were fun. Having the different various blaster cards, that was actually pretty cool. I'll admit. But yeah, it still didn't help Royals until MLB. MLB was what actually gave Royals some threat, but that still didn't really solve the issue when you look at all these other metas, or not meta, but like all these other meta decks, like Aquaforce that can do like 7 attacks and neg you 5k, or like it doesn't do much against MLB, but it's like it's something. And then you had Excel, like the Excel meta that just tore everyone apart. So being on an 18k base doesn't really change anything. And then multi-swinging vanguards and whatnots, or high power rear guards or stuff that again, it doesn't really change anything half the time.
Exactly.
So, yeah, like you're facing 3 attacks, you're using 3 attacks that half the time doesn't really do anything, whereas like these other decks can do like just 10 or all these other crazy stuff. It's like, no, most people just defaulted to the multi-swinging decks to win at this point. Oh, and then later down the line, you get Chaos Breaker that can just look at Royals and be like, "Oh, hey, nice markers. Let me just steal them, please." It's like, "Oh, hey, nice 3 markers. Let me just unlock, and lock, eat 2. Do all this. Thanks for the free markers.
Oh my god.
Yeah. Well, these aren't your markers. These are our markers.
See, I knew like that particular mechanic was eventually going to come in, but like, I felt like that should have came in around Hyuga era.
Oh, for sure. I really okay. No joke. The very first release of Vario End, the one that eats the marker, that just like kills all the markers, get 10k in 1 crit, the strike unit.
Oh yeah,
when I first saw that, I was like, oh man, are we going to get well, even before that, right? The comprehension book, the comprehensive rule book, it hinted on the idea that markers can disappear. Like it's literally in the book, or in the rule book. You'll have to kind of read through it down the line, but as a judge I have to. But like I got the hint from there. It said something about how gift markers can be destroyed or removed or stuff like that. And so I was like, oh, are we gonna get something like that? Because the only clan that I think of that can do that is Link Joker. No other clan can actually remove a marker in some way because it's not really their mechanic.
True.
And then lo and behold, we get Barrio End that literally just wipes out every single marker on the opponent's hand or field. And I was like, oh, okay. So I was right on that. And I was like, what's the consensus on maybe Chaos getting some ability like that? Maybe he'll get a marker marking, deleting, or not deleting, but like getting rid of the markers and getting some advantage or something like that. I was expecting something like that. On ride, and then like do some weird kill a marker and stuff like that. No, then it became true. The only difference is that Chaos doesn't get a marker. He eats the opponent's markers to get it for himself. I was like, holy moly, that's a twist. So
I know everybody was hella scared when like that thing came out. And
it was hilarious to see what people were thinking, since I was hard testing Chaos when Chaos first came out, and I was like, oh hey, Chaos has the ability to just steal markers from the opponent's side and as his own, but it involves locking, unlocking, and all this stuff. I'm like, okay, what kind of BS could I do? And then suddenly after through testing, I got a solid deck, and I look at any other people's deck. It was so bad. I just felt so disappointed every time because everyone who played it or who played a variant of Chaos, they were playing a deleter base, and I was like, y'all just ruined this deck.
I never understood why they devoted to the leaders.
I don't know either. I was like, I understand their idea is like eat the opponent's marker and then delete your opponent afterwards. However, that just didn't make any difference. Like, okay, sure, you go Chaos, eat marker, ride Bridol, delete, and then all this other stuff. But then, okay, where's your hand advantage? Where's your, potential to, delay the game to your advantage? Slowly eat up your opponent's resources, and then you for yourself. That was the whole spiel. That's the whole spiel of Chaos. Was like, you slowly eat up the game to your advantage. That was the whole idea. But no, everyone wanted to try to make it an aggro deck, and I was like, oh, okay, I guess. Obviously, I didn't follow that. I just played the normal way, and lo and behold, 90% of the time, that Chaos deck actually worked out. My variant of it. I was like, I was going toe to toe with Gargoyle, no joke. And this was before the hit too, before the choice restrict.
Oh yeah,
I think it was
powered.
Yeah, I was at a 50-50 against Gargoyle, mostly because if I went first, I had a slight lead since I was able to set up. I could set up, and the moment my opponent tries to generate Excel markers, I can start eating those with Chaos Breaker. But then when they start, I start slowing down because they're already generating markers and already hitting you while you're still 10k. So I was already at a disadvantage at that point. So it was one of those kind of things. But at the same time, it wasn't like 100% lose. You could potentially come back. It's just hard. That was mostly it, though.
I believe that.
Yeah, but I mean, them coming back though for, V collection, I was impressed, and I mean, I wouldn't say I was disappointed. I was happy that they brought back some of those old cards. The clan collection gave way for a lot of nostalgia. I'll definitely agree with that part.
That's true.
So, do we want to go into it?
Yeah. So,
since we're on the topic of it, might as well, right?
Yeah, might as well. Did you want to go like Link Joker first or Kagero first?
I mean, I don't mind. And so, I mean, with the upcoming release in V Clan, that's coming out in November? What was it? Or November in English?
Yeah, November 17th. Yeah, something like that. Let me see.
Yeah, November. Yeah, because I know in Japan, they've already got their release today, because it's the 3rd over there. So they've already got their stuff.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Yeah. So with the release of 1 and 2, each one they decided to do the same thing, like they did the original clan selection. But this time around, for this kind of thing, Kagero, they ended up focusing on the Seal Dragon, and Link Joker. They decided to bring back an old, maybe I should say friend, or old unit that you'd probably never see that much, Infinite Zero Dragon. And I was actually a bit surprised, and actually was like, ooh, this is looking pretty cool, them doing that. So I would say, in terms of Kagero, or I mean, like in terms of set though, I'm gonna go for set 1 first before I go to set 2. So set 1 was Kagero, set 2 had a Link Joker. So I'll go for Kagero first before I do that.
Oh,
is that okay with you?
Yeah, we could do that. Basically, you're saving the best for last.
Oh yeah. Well, yeah. Fair point. I just kind of wanted to go, in line, in order, because I mean, there's some good stuff in V1, so in Volume 1. So, so in the original, or not original, but the previous clan selection, we had a mixture of Dauntless Drive Dragon, his shot, or I forgot. There's a grade 1 that allowed you to essentially, when a grade 2 rides over it, you look at the top 5, add a grade 3, that one, and then on place, retired, draw. And then you had the grade 2 that essentially did essentially almost kind of like the exact same thing. It was pretty good cards, like, you know, good 3 cards to introduce. I have my Dauntlesses. They're nice to use, especially when you combo someone with it. So in set 1, the newer collection, the grade 3 that we got was Seal Dragon Blockade. Not Blockade Inferno, not that, but Blockade. I was like, oh, okay. And then the grade 2, they chose Seal Dragon Corduroy. I'm like, okay, that's normal, because that was the original grade 2 for it.
Sure.
And then grade 1 Seal Dragon Kersey. Now, and then they got the what was it? Dragon Dancer, and they got Dragon Dancer Nastasha, which is the grade 3 heal trigger, or heal guardian, or whatever you call it.
I think I think like Heal Guardian will be a lot better.
Yeah, I forgot what they called it. Heal Guardian, grade 3 heal, you know, kind of like Vanguard 0, right?
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, right. Grade 3 heals, right? Just from like in Vanguard 0. No, this is not a plug. I do play though. I do play, but I'm a free-to-play player.
Which, by the way, at the time of the recording of this video, there's been a lot of incidents talking about how Zero has been crashing on people.
So yes, So speaking of said incident, the said incident is pertaining to said current event in Legion. The current event is a god dang it, Gaillard and Philip Knave. I think it's Philip Knave. Yeah. So it's that event where essentially you could get the skin of Gaillard and Knave, and, you know, do the roll thing. So if you play 0 and you're going into the event, the board, it's a dice board thing. So you roll, you go through, pick up cards, and you kind of go through the fights, unlock the stories, blah blah blah. Easy. However, the problem stems in your daily pickup of your dice. So there's like a home button on 0 where if you click on it, you get sent to another screen, and that goes to essentially like your pseudo room for that event. Okay. Usually, and the daily is that you get a certain amount of dice for the day. It's like 3 dice usually, or 4 or something like that for like a daily that you can get. Well, if you click on the dice, it crashes the game.
Oh my god.
Yeah, it's annoying. I had that happen today thinking it was my phone, and it wasn't. It was actually the game. I was like, you know, I tried it like 3 to 4 times. I was like, all right, you know what? I'm stopping. I'm not going to click on that thing. It's like, you know, I'll just do the event without it. And the thing is, like, Game Studio, I mean, yes, they need to fix this, obviously. But I feel like, given this error that's been done, they're going to give free dice because, you know, we can't access those dice, obviously, right? So they're going to give us compensation for not being able to click on the dice.
Oh, that's pretty good.
Yeah, they did that at one point. They gave us compensation, like, items to kind of make up for that, you know, problem. Because technically speaking, we should have been able to get 2 days worth of dice, or 3, depending on how you look at it. So that's 6 dice, and the dices matter because, like, going through the game board, you know, you need those dice to do it. Yes, RNG is involved and everything, but, you know, having it helps a lot. So, yeah. But that's the short end of it. No, I am not promoting Vanguard 0. I am still not promoting it. But, you know, it is a decent game, not a big favorite, like, it's totally different from the normal game, so yeah.
I mean, I just don't like the fact that they actually have like they have vintage formats though, but like the game is so completely different. You're basically robbing all of the newer players from experiencing like the older version of the game.
Yeah, I mean, like, I understand their idea of making a mobile version of Vanguard. However, it's just like, why this? You could have just like created a similar, like, you could have created a similar Vanguard game, but instead of it being, kind of like Duel Links, right? Like, you could literally like make a mini Duel Links before Vanguard instead. You just have to tweak the rules a little bit, but it's still not like it. It's still not like it's impossible. Instead of making it 6 damage, maybe minimize it a certain way. Maybe, oh hey, you're not allowed to attack until you hit to grade 3 or something. That way it's a bit fair. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I understand that.
Yeah, but no, they decided to do what they wanted to do with that, and it's like, well, okay, sure, I guess. Oh,
I would have
at the
like.
end,
Oh, what was it?
I was like, at the end of the day, it's their decision. It's like, well, okay.
That's true. Like, I would have like accepted it more if we got like a decent Vanguard simulator.
Oh, that was Vanguard EX, but
They did. They decided to scrap that for no reason.
it's not that they scrapped it. They kind of treated it as similar to the old 3DS games.
Yeah, that's right.
Like the old 3DS games, they were great. Like, yes, they didn't update the card pool and everything, which kind of sucked because I was like, I was really wanting them to update it, like give them a DLC. If they put up a DLC, it would help the game be more popular. It'd be more popular. You'd see more people play it. Heck, you can even have tournaments. And before people at me on this, and complain about, oh, it's in Japanese, it's not in English, blah 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 blah. I'm sorry, but you're playing Vanguard. It's not an issue. Language, okay. You have a problem with reading Japanese characters. All right, pull up card fight area. Pull up your deck if you have to on a English, like deck maker. Heck, we even got Bushiroad deck log now.
Oh
so
yeah, that's true.
And no, I am not promoting this. And as much as I'm bringing up so much Bushiroad stuff, no, I am not a promoter. However, I do give them credit for where it's due, like certain things. The deck log is good. Their games are great in terms of the full games, not the Zero game. Zero was a good, interesting kind of small thing, but there's some flaws in it, obviously. So, yeah. But some of their choices and things, they're good. They're not bad. And again, I'm not promoting it, but at this point, I feel like I am. So whatever.
I mean, but, aren't you technically promoting it since you're a judge?
I'm not getting paid for it. If I was being paid, sure, I'd promote that, like, Raid Shadow Legends would and all that. No, I'm not going into that BS. I'm just bringing that as an example. So, but yeah. So that's on that note. But yeah, they're Heel Guardians. I like their idea. Whether it's gonna be prominent or not, though, I don't know. I've seen some people play it. It might be. We'll see.
I have faith in it. Like, if it's something to actually combat like what was happening towards the end of V, where like if you didn't get to grade 3 first, you more likely was at 5 damage before you even got to grade 3.
Yeah, that's true. And I mean, being damage denied as well really sucks. So this kind of combats that, which is actually pretty good. I'll give them that.
Unless you're angel feathers.
Right. Oh god. They'll just take the damage themselves. It's like, oh, I'll just damage myself if you don't damage me. It's like, oh, okay. So among other cards that we're getting for Kagero, we are getting some reprints, and the reprints are, if I find them, Burning Horn Dragon, which is actually a sneak peek promo. It was a discard one. I mean, it was if the effect was, if it was discarded from hand, you can Soul Blast one to retire something on its side of the field. Pretty sure it was, yeah. And also it acted as a grade 3 in hand when you would discard it for something. So it worked out for, like, say, striding and stuff. So it was a pseudo stride fodder at that point.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and it was actually not bad. Like, some people ran like a 2 of, 1 of, or something in premium. So it wasn't too bad. I've seen some people run it in Overlord the Cross for, retire power if you somehow had the soul. It was an interesting gimmick.
I did like the short amount of time that I played it.
Oh yeah, I did too. I played like 1 of it in my deck. It was actually kind of fun. So I gave it, I'll give it that choice being not too bad. And it also brings back a card that, they couldn't, people couldn't get access to. You can only really get access to that promo from Sneak Peek. So
Sure.
I think it was Sneak Peek if I recall. Yeah. Torrid Cannon, Torrid Cannon was another reprint, and it was in the same set as the Cross. It's a really good card because it relied on the fact that if your hand was 4 or less, and you got to draw a card if you retired. You retire something by paying a cost and sending send a normal unit to the bottom of the deck. So it was like a pseudo Dragonic Burnout if you think of it that way.
True.
But it was an act, and it was really good because in Cross, Cross essentially made it where your hand was 0 when you count cards. So it was a very effective card. However, I get it why they chose to reprint that card. I don't know if it'll be effective, but we will see. The next card they chose is obviously Lava Flow Dragon, which is the grade 3 searcher of V. And I'm glad they chose this card because this card was hard to get in that set.
Even on day 1.
Yeah, on day 1, it was a pain. I barely got a play set for myself. So it was, it was just not fun. But having it as a reprint, great, it's good. So, not going into the Heal Guardian, because that's its own count. The grade 1 we got, Seal Dragon Kersey. Now, the original Seal Dragon Kersey was a drop and drop if your opponent had a grade 2 unit, if I remember correctly. This time around, its effect is when this unit is placed on either van or rear cost, so blast 1, ditch a card from your hand, choose one of your opponent's rears, retire it, your opponent chooses up to 1 grade 2 unit card from their hand, cause it to open rear, and the auto abilities of that card cannot activate. If they couldn't call a grade 2 unit, or if they don't choose to call anything, you drew 2 cards. So literally on turn 1, it's not really that good, mostly because of the fact that it's kind of like one of those things where since it's not a tied in effect, you could potentially just draw 2 for no apparent reason. Yeah, and no one really calls anything at the beginning, so you're more or less forcing your opponent to either play a grade 2 from their hand, or you're drawing 2. Which majority of the time, I think you're going to draw 2. I think, depending on the situation. So it's not too bad, but I don't think it's really that great. But on a Still Dragon deck, though, it might be handy, give or take a bit.
I believe that.
Yeah, and so we'll see how that goes. I mean, like, it's tricky. They're grade 2. They're grade 2. Still Dragon Corduroy. Now, the original Corduroy was interesting. You counterboss 1 Steel Dragon when placed on either the van or rear, and you had a Kagero Vanguard. You can pay the cost if you do. Retire an opponent's rear guard, and then your opponent looks up to 4 cards from the top of their deck, and they can search up. They can call up to 1 grade 2 and call it to rear, and then they shuffle the deck. So it was kind of like a trade-off card for what happens. The new Corduroy is an act on either van or rear. You pay 1 counterblast, choose one of your opponent's rears, retire it. They look at 5 cards from the top of their deck and choose 1 grade 2 unit card. and calls it to an open rear, and then shuffle the deck. Obviously, auto effects don't activate. Now, if they couldn't call something, or if they didn't want to call something, you get a free counter charge. So, literally meant this card is meant to be, oh hey, I retire something for free if you don't call anything from among the top 5, which can happen. If they run out of grade 2s, you get a counter charge out of it. So it's like, oh, for on call retired.
That's true.
Yeah. So it's not bad. The only difference is that between this and OG Corduroy is that OG Corduroy couldn't stop on play effects. But back in the day, though, with how Seal Dragons were, there was not that many on play effects.
Oh yeah, that's it, especially because he came out like what, Seal Dragons Unleashed. So yeah, it wasn't.
Yeah.
It was still like OG era Vanguard. So
yeah, lots of cards had high cost. A lot of the effects were or continuouses, or like it made no difference. It wasn't until like down the line that we started getting cards that had, major power effects of sorts. Oh, on play, do this, do that. That's why they created that effect onto Corduroy. It's supposedly mimicking. If you look at it this way, it's supposedly mimicking Nibatama.
yeah, it is actually.
Yeah. So
Now
just
that I'm
that it's
thinking
only
about
grade 2. Yeah, just grade 2s. So it's an interesting idea. I'll give them that. Whether this deck will be effective or not, I don't know. So now going into their next card, which is their main grade 3, Seal Dragon Blockade. Now, for those of you who remember what old Blockade did, old boy Blockade, all he did was not only was he a 10k Vanguard, all he did was on Vanguard Circle during your turn, your opponent can't even intercept. That's all he did. That's literally all he did. It was like, yes, you look at 0, that effect is bonkers. But in our current, like in real Vanguard, no, that effect is just trash.
That shit's
useless. Like, wow. Yeah. However, I'll give him this. The new Blockades effect isn't too bad either. Act Vanguard Circle once per turn, counter boss 1. Pop all of your opponent's grade 2 rear guards. All of your front row gets plus 10,000 power until end of turn for each unit retired. So you pop 3, you get 30k power in your front row.
Oh
it's pretty nutty. Half the time you'll see a lot of grade 2s on the rear, so you'll probably see at least 2. So more or less guarantee, 20k. However, if your opponent doesn't play anything, in fear of getting something popped, you do get something interesting. If no cards were retired, so if you couldn't retire any grade 2 rear guards on your opponent's side, you get an imaginary gift force. So for not popping anything, you get a force, which is not bad. For counter boss 1, essentially for a force marker, if you don't get anything, which is fine. You either get a pseudo triple force mark or double force marker, or for each front row, or you get one singular marker. It's like, or permanent marker kind of thing. So not too bad. And then continuous on the Vanguard Circle. If your opponent has no grade 2 units on van or rear, the original critical of this unit becomes 2. Now, I mean, with that effect, it's essentially saying, hey, I'm making you call your grade 2s, and then I'm popping it all so that I get a guaranteed 2 crit on my Vanguard Circle, or on my Vanguard. So it's like, unless your grade 2 has some resist or something, which I know there are some, this thing is kind of dumb. So it has its uses, but I feel like it's one of the... I mean, some people are probably going to argue with me about this, and I don't doubt it. It might be one of the weaker grade 3 Kagero, clan selection units, because you're not really doing a killing move with this deck.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Yeah, like I don't see it. Like if I wanted to find a killing move, I'd rather go back to my Dauntless Soen deck. So yeah, it's. However, not to say that it's bad or anything. Just it's neat. It's a neat idea. It's a neat idea for sure. So that's my thoughts.
Well, okay, so um, here's the thing that I like about this version of Blockade.
Hmm.
Um, this is a prime example of how getting multiple markers in one turn should have happened throughout the whole V series. Like, if you were going to do this thing where there's going to be times where you get multiple markers, this is actually pretty fair because your opponent technically has a way to get around you getting the second marker, and you have to pay like a not like a super hefty cost for it though, but you have to everything has
Try
to
to
go.
fulfill a requirement to get to it.
Yeah, you have to fulfill a requirement that doesn't feel free in order to get it, compared
Right.
to like
Astropoets.
yeah, compared to Astropods where oh yeah, let me shit out one like every 5 seconds just for resisting.
What do you mean every 5 seconds? Their turn one can get them one marker already.
That's right.
Their turn one can get you a marker. Their turn two can get you a marker. Or two, depending on how much cost you got. Turn three essentially guarantees 3 to 5 in one shot. Like, I've literally went with that deck and got name when I had everything aligned up really well. Turn one got one marker. Turn two got one marker. On Rai got a third marker. On Valkyrian, called another card, get a third marker on my Vanguard circle. Then you and this is assuming you optimally rode the correct Uranus. Did the Valkyrian play and then just literally bash your opponent with 70k to crit. It's like
With
holy
restand.
with restand, yeah, for one, yeah. And this is just V, by the way. This is V, not anything else.
Oh
And-
yeah, because we get the premium. Then you have to just deal with. Oh yeah, Valkyrian can restand multiple times.
At that point, you're dealing with Marduk. It's like, yeah, no, I'm not going into that kind of a, yeah, no, I'm not touching that. I'm not touching that any day soon. But just with V, I'm just a little like I'm thankful that yes, the deck is a bit more consistent and everything of that sort. But at the same time, they could have just not made it that crazily strong. It's like there should have been some form of limitation, at least. Not like it. If anything, if you're doing a Valkyrian thing, I would have expected something with Uranus being, yes, a lesser cost for a astral plane, but
That's all you really needed.
It just-
you didn't need,
it
like,
just it felt too easy. It's too easy. Like they could have done it better. I mean, I can't complain. And, it's Bushiroad choosing to do this, so it's like whatever.
It's like,
But
how
yeah.
many markers do you need, Astro Poet? Yes.
Yeah, yes, I'll take all of it. Legit, I have a stack full of imaginary gift markers that I use because of that deck.
Why do you have
So-
two? Why do you have two like 50 card decks? Oh no, one of them is a regular deck. The other one is just force markers.
Oh no! No! One's a deck, one's a marker, and the other is a ton of tokens. So yeah,
Oh my god.
yeah, it's ridiculous. It's dumb. But yeah, no, I agree. I like this idea of a small paced force marker gaining. Although problematic thing is, tell this to like other Excel decks that just get markers out of their butts, and they benefit off of it like nothing.
See,
It's like, oh,
I would have been okay with XL clans getting multiple markers because like the whole point of it is it's supposed to go wide, but like the problem is XL2.
yeah. No, okay. So here's my one spiel with that one. they really shouldn't have given them the draw.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, it was either this. You should have either gotten a draw or you got the 5k. You can't get both. I'm sorry, but you get an extra circle, right? But that circle should not give you a power boost and give you a draw on top of that. Like, you either choose. You get a power or you draw. You don't get both. There's no way. And, like, I'm fine with them giving the idea of, hey, you know, if you choose XL2, anytime you play an XL2, you choose to either forego the power or get the draw. And if they made it permanent where it's like, oh, anytime you play XL2, it's just an extra marker. Actually, no, you know what? They should have just made XL2 just be an extra extra zone and no power. You just get a draw. That's it. No power.
Actually, one of my friends, he brought up a very good point on theory crafting. If they were to like either buff or nerf the markers in general,
Yeah.
He said XL2, the draw should have been a once per turn.
Yeah, I mean, I could kind of see that too. It would kind of make XL gaining or XL marker gaining kind of redundant at that point. However, I feel like the power boost thing was actually a very detrimental. Like, it was really strong. Like, the extra 5k literally gave all units the ability to hit over any Vanguard. You know what I mean?
Which is
like
true.
Which that was the problem. Like, I didn't like the fact that any card on an XL circle can just hit over the Vanguard. It's like, oh, I'll just punch you for 13. It's like, what? You know, like, why? And you get a draw. It's like, no. It's like, if you draw, you shouldn't get any power at all. The power should be like, you should either get XL1, which is the 10k boost, no draw, or you just get a standalone rear guard and you just draw a card. No power, nothing. Like, if it was power from another card, that's a different story. So, like, say, you know, Gurguit call something, you know, get power, blah blah blah. Okay, that's fine, but it's not coming from the XL circle, you know.
That's true.
Yeah, that was my main problem with XL2, and they really could have done it better, but that's why you had XL meta for a long time, and now we're back to Protect meta with a little bit of Force.
Wait, what other Protect clans besides Angel Feathers is good?
It literally is Angel Feather deck.
It's just Angel Feathers meta, it's not Protect meta then.
It kind of is when you've got about, I don't know, 40% of the player base topping with Angel Feathers. It's like XL meta, but with Vanquisher.
I mean, when you put it in that particular sense, I guess you're kind of right, because
like, if you remember, Silverthorns wasn't. Yes, it was good. Like, Silverthorns and Vanquisher were like among the top 2 decks, but then remember, Pale Moon actually faded off for a little while, and then Vanquisher just became top dog. And then also remember, Tachikaze was also top dog for a little while because it was a high rolling deck
until the ban was hit.
Yeah, and then, you know, Vanquisher became top dog back again, and then people still called it XL meta because Vanquisher was still Vanquisher.
Well, you also had Aquaforce, that was a thing too.
Yeah, but the deck could not really keep up with Vanquisher because of the binding.
Which is true.
But it was just way too much. Like, Vanquisher had too much advantage at that point against other XL decks. The only things that could keep up was like Force decks. So
surprisingly, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, they gave Force the boost that it needed to kind of keep up, which is good. Which, you know, I'll take that. So like, I really got annoyed by Excel. So
like, the way I usually saw like the marker metas, I usually was like, if basically 3 or more of the decks in that particular marker margin was like top tier, then that's what I consider it the meta. So like, I never really considered like Protect ever having a meta, because it was either OTT at the beginning, or it was Angel Feathers at the end, and the closest thing I've ever seen to at least two protect decks actually being meta was when Angel Feathers came out for the first time. It was like switching in between OTT and Angel Feathers, and then you had what was it, set 9, when Grand Blue and Dark Irregulars was there, but that was literally only 3 weeks.
Yeah, no, that was short.
That was short, mad short.
Yeah, it was short-lived. And the only reason why I say that this is a protect meta is because back in the day when set 1 came out, OTT was the only dominant protect deck.
I remember that.
So that's why people called it the protect meta for the longest time at that point. So now, because we have Angel Feathers being the only standalone protect deck, it's protect meta. So,
I mean, to be honest, unless like there's going to be a restriction list for V standard, I want to say that Angel Feathers will probably outbeat OTT for like the longest running meta deck in V series.
Well, OTT lasted pretty long. Like,
yeah, OTT lasted all the way to Bermuda's came out.
yeah, it wasn't until Bermuda just literally stomped them. It would take another few months for Angel Feathers to literally overtake OTT in terms of longest protect deck to last. So we'll see.
I would say if they don't get hit by January, then that might happen.
Well, we'll find out in I think in like a week or two, because I think there's an upcoming list.
Yeah, there's supposed to be one for premium. I don't know about V premium though, but
I mean, when they say premium,
that's true. Because I feel like premium needs a lot more help than V premium right now.
Oh, premium by far needs a lot of BS to like not be a thing. No, sorry. Not. It's not that it's to be a thing. It needs something to like kill off some of the most degenerate decks there. And what I mean by degenerate decks, I legit mean I'll say it. Marduk Valkyrian 16 stand Dragonic Blade Master Soen. What else? Hyuga Dio, new Dio.
The Grand Blue.
Oh, Zazan Grand Blue?
Yeah, Zarzan Grand Blue.
Yeah, Zazan Grand Blue is a thing. Any deck that could literally turn one as Zazan for no apparent reason. That. And then,
I've even heard of like some people actually wanting to ban Jammy Congo because of their Zarzan variant.
Yeah, I can see Jammy being a thing, but then the thing with Jammy is that, I mean, it's heavily on the idea that, you can't have a lot of hand, but at this point in time, it's like, well, I guess. They have to I feel like they'd have to, like, choice restrict. Well, at the moment, isn't Jammy and Renee choice restricted?
Yeah, but, like, the weird thing is we have, like, the new Batama card that's coming out in V Collection.
Oh, Daihosen, yeah.
Which, in my personal opinion, is going to be more of an issue than Jammy Congo is going to be.
Yeah. Well,
I can't wait for that. I'm not gonna lie.
oh, no joke. And I mean, we'll go into Daihosen in a little bit because I mean that's in set 2. So, but yeah, well, I guess we'll have to wait and see. I mean, we also got a new card where Dentarian gets free guards, which is ridiculous.
Well, if Grand Blue could do it with the Lolly Ghost trick, I don't remember what her name is at the moment.
Yeah. Lily? No, Lily? No, I don't know.
Oh, let me look it up.
Well, okay, so the thing is that the main guy, the guy that came from Shadowverse, that Kitamori or whatever his name is,
Yeah.
he brought it up that there is an issue with the new card versus with its interaction to dark states, or not dark states, darker regulars, specifically Dantirian. So they're fixing that. They're fixing that interaction in some way, shape, or form. So thankfully they noticed that, you know, the interaction would have been stupid, because that card that they released, the new Diera card, its effect is bonkers. 7 or more cards in Soul gets 5k shield, and then when it's retired from guard circle, you shove it into the Soul. So literally, Dontarian, if it in premium, if you think of it in premium, it's dumb because on Dontarian, you guard with grade 2s in your Soul as long as you have a certain amount. Now, with premium, you have so many cards that is able to get you what you need that it's just ridiculous. Like, if you open even one of them in your hand and an Emblem Master, you call an Emblem Master, shove 3 into the Soul, boom, there you go. That's an easy 30k guard on Dontarian with just that card.
For no reason.
Yeah, and you don't have to guard from hand either. It's like, oh, attack for 17, or I mean, attack for 21. Okay, 30k guard from Soul. It's like, okay, now these cards go back into Soul. Next, you know, it's like, really? No, thanks. Don't need that right now.
So dumb.
Yeah, I essentially equivalent it to Ellie, the band G guard.
She definitely needs to get hit too.
No, she was already hit.
Oh yeah, that's right.
No, she's hit, and so that's why I equivalated to Ellie. Ellie was such a very powerful G guard that it needed to get hit. That effect alone is on par with Ellie. If for some reason that effect did not get hit, or if they don't do something about it, they need to bring Ellie back. Because I'm sorry, but you're gonna let this effect go? If they let this effect go, Ellie should be back then. You know, it's stupid. But they are bringing up that point, so hopefully they do something. Maybe make it a hard once per turn. So.
Oh my god! But I don't know.
Or they do this. They make it guard from hand, and so you can't just get the easy 10k just by guarding. You know what I mean?
I can agree with that too.
Yeah. Guard from hand, or essentially, while maybe it can act like if it for you can't have it go into Soul if it wasn't placed from hand or something like that. You know, that would be fair. Yeah, no, I can actually see them do that. Make it where the card can only go into Soul if it was placed from hand. That's actually a way to stop it from being repetitive.
Yeah, because then it won't be so free.
Nope. And then it actually goes to drop zone, and that would actually kill off Dontarian's effect, which is fine. Like, you get the 10k shield, but it goes to drop right afterwards. So it's like, use that 10k guard wisely. So
exactly.
But yeah. Yeah. Is there any set 1 stuff are you looking forward to?
Obviously, Giraffa. But let me look at it real quick. Because I think most of the other stuff I'm looking for is in set 2, actually.
Right.
I might try out Murakumo. Like, I still have, like, a bunch of my Murakumo stuff, so I could try it out. But, like, a lot of people that I'm looking at from the Murakumo community, they're not really liking the card because it requires you to have, like, a lot of stealth fiends. And when you take just, like, V Premium alone, there's not really that many stealth fiends to use.
Yeah, I actually do agree with you there, in terms of what they have. And I don't like their effect either. I don't like this effect either, because, what is it? When your drive check reveals a unit card, if it's a normal unit, with the name, you can call it to a rear, and then you get 10k power, and that unit gets 10k power. However, if it's not, you just drop it to drop zone. It's like, wow, you get no cards for the drive check. Well, you get cards, but you only get normal unit cards. If it's a trigger effect, it doesn't even go into your hand.
True.
Which is an issue. So, yeah.
So
I totally agree.
one of the interesting things that I figured out is that Jusuku Girl and I forgot what the grade 1 was are both stealth fiends. So weirdly enough, you can kind of sort of put like the Shirayuki engine in it. I don't think it'll help much. But another thing that I figured out is one of the cards that I actually wanted to use for a long time is actually useful now with this.
Oh yeah?
It's, let me look up his name, because it is a grade 3 that kind of sort of had like a it had like the Shadow Stitch effect in a way.
Is this in V?
Yeah, it's in V. It came out in the same set Hyuga came out, I think. It came out in the same the previous one, the Link Joker one. I think his name is Stealthy Morote Surveillant.
Oh, I see.
So what he does is when the attack does not hit, if you have 3 or more rear guards, counterblast 1, search your deck for up to 1 card with the same name as one of your units, and put it to your hand. And it's both a Vanguard and a rear guard skill.
It's a double rare. Oh. Huh.
So he was like my original main grade 3 when I was trying to play like the, what was that thing called?
Mandala? No.
No, the what was it? The Weasel game.
Oh, that thing! Oh, wow! Blast from the past, or not past, but holy jeez. Yeah, I know what you're talking about. The Weasel Army. Yeah. I mean, for sure. It's definitely funny. Like, that deck itself was hilarious when I saw it. Not like it wasn't good, but it was like funny. Like good budget, just having fun-ish kind of thing.
True. Oh, and then One Eye New Dio actually is in this set too. So
yeah.
I mean, he's gonna reprint it in the set.
Yeah. Let's see. Ataka, which is a grade 3 searcher, One-Eyed Nudo, Shirayuki. Yeah. Is this Shirayuki the OG? Or not the OG? Yeah, it is. Okay.
Yeah, it's the first one.
First one. Yeah, and that's good. I mean, like, while Hyuga is not really that great of a card. Some of the other ones, Shirayuki can come in, clutch, because some people were having a hard time trying to pick one up. Now it's cheap, unfortunately.
Because they keep giving her like support, and it's like,
yeah,
she needed that reprint.
Yeah, and she's a good deck. That deck is pretty good, I'll admit. Like, my friend has the deck; it's legit.
I believe that.
Yeah. Let's see.
Then there's the card that we should have gotten a long time ago, Die Kaiser.
We don't talk about that here. I am kidding.
He's not like my favorite. He's not like my most favorite when it came to Dimension Police, but like, you would have thought that he would have had like his own thing, seeing that when you think of Dimension Police, you think of Die Kaiser. You don't think of Dayusha.
Well, no. Okay, so understandably, when Dayusha first came out, that made sense. First, like Ultimate Dayusha and regular Dayusha, that made sense. And then they decided to be like, oh yeah, the next grade 3 is Dimensional Robo as well, but it's not Die Kaiser. It's Die Liner. I'm like, why? Why? What is this? And so I get it. People are like, oh, that thanks Bushi for debating us and not bringing out Daikaiser until now, when literally Daikaiser, is kind of late. But I mean, hey, it's definitely an interesting card. I read it. Okay, so I know this is like kind of out there, but if you follow YouTube, if you follow the Bushiroad channel, they actually did a fight with Daikaiser. It was Dr. O versus, I think, the voice actor for Yuga, Chrono, technically, in the anime. I'm pretty sure. And it was those two, and Dr. O was using Raging Form Dragon, and the other guy was using Daikaiser. Pretty hilarious. Yeah, it was a pretty hilarious fight. And I'm glad they're doing that because, showcasing the fights and stuff like that. And obviously, it's not scripted because legit they shuffle their decks and stuff.
Oh, yeah.
They do shuffle. Yeah, so it's not scripted. It's just whatever happens. So, if people think, oh, it's a scripted fight, no, it is not. Up to a certain point, right? Like, I mean, they shuffle their decks and stuff like that. Obviously, it's you see cuts and stuff because obviously, the video would be like an hour, 2 hours long if they don't do cuts and stuff.
Oh yeah, most definitely.
Yeah. So, but I mean, great. It's a great thing to watch, and I'll give it that with this, with the new Daikaiser though, it is pretty powerful. And I see where it's going with the effect. So yeah, I mean, it's interesting, but I feel like it wasn't needed, right? We all didn't need Daikaiser at this point. I mean, who needs a Daikaiser, right? You got Dailiner, Dayusha, all that stuff. Should be happy. Totally should be happy for that.
I mean, he's gonna be best friends with Zeal,
Black.
so.
Oh, I was thinking he'd be best friends with Brad Black.
Oh yeah. Okay, so the way I'm gonna do it is if I do decide to make like a V series version of it, I'll definitely put like him with Brad Black, but like most definitely, my main focus for is gonna be premium, which is gonna be with Zeal.
Yeah. One of the reasons why I think Brad Black would be a good combo is because you go Brad Black into this guy, immediately, and you can potentially, guard break your opponent if they're not careful.
True.
And plus, if you think about it, his effect when if this unit's power is 35k or greater, that's easily gotten, like no problem.
That's hell
because
easy.
on Brad, yeah, because upon Brad Black, you ride Brad Black, you get a marker, then you go attack, superior ride, get a marker. Brad Black gives him 10,000 power. So between that and base power, that's 43k. You're getting that +1 critical no matter what.
Facts.
Yeah. So at that point, and then the turn after that, you ride something over it, boom, double marker, and your Vanguard's automatically, even if you do Daikaiser over Daikaiser, you're gonna get the markers anyways. It's pretty lethal. Like, that +1 crit is stupid. But for sure, like, the thing is, like, what people don't realize is Daikaiser is a strong card. It's just not as great as people think. Like, it's not, because the effect is literally if your opponent called a total of 1 sentinel to guard circle, at the end of so it says at the end of the battle, a grade 3 was revealed for your drive check. Your opponent called a total 1 sentinel to guard circle, blah blah blah. Pay counter boss 1, blah blah blah. This only works at your Vanguard attack. So if you PG the rear, it doesn't do it. Like, this card does nothing.
Which
Like,
is true.
you know what it? Yeah. So like, all you have to do is just save your power guards for your van, or for the van, or just no guard at low damage.
Well,
So there's
actually,
like,
wait. I'm re-looking at it. It actually works if it's also on the front row rear guard circle.
you don't drive check.
Oh, wait. That's what you're talking about. My bad.
Yeah, the only time it triggers is if you drive check. So if you attack with rear, you could literally PG it, and you don't have to worry about the effect. If you PG the Vanguard and you have 2 Daikaizers, yes, both of them will trigger. But if you drive check a grade 3, however, that's moot if you just guard it like normal. You know what I mean?
True.
So, or guard it like normal, or double guard, or double sentinel, because it just says if your opponent called a total of only 1. So if you threw down 2, it just shuts this down. Doesn't do anything.
Yeah. I mean, I think like the way. I think this is supposed to be more of an ultimatum thing in a way, because like.
Yeah, it's Dayusha. It's literally just a Dayusha clone. In a way, but more of a lethal thing.
Because like if they throw down 2 Sentinels, they have to waste 4 cards in total, just so they don't get like a free damage.
No, they don't have to. Throwing down a Sentinel doesn't mean you have to use it.
Oh yeah. You're right.
It just says if your opponent called a total of 1 Sentinel to guard. It doesn't say if you have to use it. So if there's 2 Sentinels in the guard circle, then the skill won't proc. It's just as long as it's a Sentinel card. That's it.
Yeah, which also means that you could technically get over it with the Sentinel crit too. So
yeah, you throw 2 Sentinel crits and it's like, okay, I don't care.
That shit just dies out.
yeah, and it's like some people run Sentinel crits now, so it's like, oh, okay, or a mixture of both. Yeah. So it's not like such an overbearing effect, but it is a good effect. This card. I don't think it's gonna be that OP or anything like that, but you never know.
See, now if like they had a booster that prevented your opponent from like calling Sentinels, then this would have been a whole different story.
I mean, well, you can potentially, I don't know. Yeah, but I mean that's kind of a bit overbearing if you essentially say, oh, no Sentinels, not no Sentinels, but you can only use certain things. It's like, oh, okay. I mean, right now we're in a meta where it's like, or not meta, but we're in a V era is essentially like either it's a no Sentinel thing or whatnot. We're not trying to do Ichitam here.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Yeah, that crap can just disappear for all I care. But no, the D-Police thing. They're pretty cool. I'll give them that. Good effects. Finally Daikaiser, is a thing. So.
Which is true.
Yeah. So what's your thoughts on Drafa, the new Drafa?
Oh my god, like it's weird because like you can go through so many directions. Like the direction I'm gonna go towards, it's more of going towards discarding, but like Elite Mutant and Pupa Mutant, like the grade 2 and the grade 1.
Right.
I feel like I can put that in basically any Megacolony deck, like regardless of format.
Yeah, I can totally see that. That first effect is insane.
This thing looks like it has both Wing Joker and Nubatama put into one.
Well, are you talking about the grade 3 Jirafa, or are you talking about...
Oh, the grade 3.
Let's see. When attacks the Vanguard, counterblast 1, put a rear as a soul. They choose 2 cards from their hand, call it to rear as rest. Those called units cannot stand during their next stand phase. Auto abilities of your opponent's cards do not activate from this call. During your turn, this unit gets power +5 for each card with Jirafa different the soul, 2 or more with different card names in your opponent's hand. I don't see the Link Joker part, unless you're talking about the auto thing, but the auto thing was just pure Nubatama. I mean, I could see your idea of the call 2 cards, but the thing is that this isn't call 2 cards in locked position or something. Like, it just says you just can't stand them.
Which is true.
So they could technically overplace the cards. So if anything, this is more of a copy of Rene.
Yeah, it's more of a copy of Rene. But I was also thinking of what was the Chaos Breaker? Was it Deluge?
Deluge. Yeah. Now, see, I thought about that too, but remember, Deluge essentially occupies the 2 rear guards as a lock. You can't do anything to them. Whereas, like, with this one, you can. And just like Rene, you can still do something with those 2. So, you know what I mean? Like, you can overplace those cards. Deluge, you can't.
True.
So, that's like the main difference between the 2 at that point. That's why I feel like this is more Nuba, if anything.
Yeah, I could see that. Like, only difference is like the rear guards aren't forced to attack you.
Yeah. You just can't use them for anything. So. Which, I mean, that's fine.
But I feel like this with like the discard mechanic like goes so well, because like you have Brony Jerk that forces your opponent to discard a card, and you also have Cyclomatooth when he's rolled upon. You also force your opponent to discard a card.
Oh yeah. Gunning Colio and everything. Yeah, no, I could totally see that.
Damn, it's weird. Like, Megacolony now has the ability to control the field, the hand, the deck, and the damage zone.
It's again, and it's funny you mention this because like Megacolony is becoming a legit shadow of other clans.
That's because the Bushiroad doesn't know what the hell they doing with the clan. That's why.
It's like, here, I'm gonna give you this here, the scraps from here, scraps from here. I was just like, wow, what I said like 5 years ago is still staying true till today. Megacolony is the shadow of multiple clans. I said it was the shadow of Lynx before, and now it's like, oh wow, it's like for every clan now. Oh man, it's hilarious that that's actually, true now.
You know what's weird? I saw like a post.
Yeah.
Where it was like Solomon Vanguard, where he was like, I played against like Megacolony Premium today. Like, I feel sorry for anybody who like mains this clan. I'm like, what?
I mean, if he's looking at it from the perspective of a meta player, yeah, I guess I could see that. But most people are just gonna play the Ghidorah build, so it doesn't really matter.
Oh, I would actually play this over Ghidorah, to be honest.
No, I meant like in terms of competitiveness, like people just play the Ghidorah build.
No, I would still, even like in competitive, I would actually still play this only
really
because, like.
Actually, no. Sorry. If we're talking about V, then not Ghidorah, but the Stinger.
Oh, Venom Stinger.
Yeah, I can see people running that more, if anything. But if we're talking about, say, like Premium, everyone's just gonna default to Ghidorah. The Ghidorah, the dumb Ghidorah that just stuns everything.
Oh yeah, the stride. I mean, like, that's gonna be like instant default, but
yeah.
What I like about this is like now I can use some of the older Giraffa support as well. So I still have like I still have Sun Giraffa. I still have the grade 2 that can search out for the grade 1.
Right. Like the old stuff, right?
Yeah, a lot of the old tech you can still kind of use, which is what I'm liking the most about this.
Yeah. I mean, now with all the new cards though, some of the old stuff ends up being not really like needed anymore. Like some of the really old stuff, like some of the support is great, like, but there's definitely some cards that's really not needed anymore. I noticed.
That's actually true.
Yeah, so it's looking good for sure.
Yeah, it's all coming to plan.
Yeah, what are you gonna do? Beat me with the moves beat me with the moves that you've stolen?
I didn't ask to be born, dads.
God, that's literally okay. That's literally Megacolony. Stealing moves from all the other. It's literally Cell.
Yeah,
Oh,
it's basically
Oh
Cell.
God, it literally is Cell. Oh my God, big brain. It's a bug and it's Cell. Oh man.
Now I need to see if I can find Cell sleeves now.
Oh God, you probably could. Try the Dragon Ball Super card game.
Oh yeah, the one that
Sure,
I'm
you'll find
surprised
something.
is still going.
I'm surprised that, yeah, I'm a bit surprised it's lasting for it. I mean, I thought it died. I know Force of Will kind of died.
I'm not, you know what, to be honest, I'm not surprised Force of Will died, only because, like, they made the cards way too cheap, and, like, the rotating format didn't help them.
No, it didn't. Yeah. No. I liked some of their like stuff for their their decks and stuff like that. It was kind of fun at first, but then I kind of just lost interest afterwards. It was just like,
I'm just there for the artwork at that particular point.
yeah. Some of their cards were artwork wise, they're pretty good. Yeah. Any other grade one? Any other Vanguard stuff you're looking for? You're looking forward to for set 1?
Spike Brothers, because I do like Dudleys.
Oh yeah, the Dudleys. Yeah.
I'm actually glad they got a second wave of support.
Not enough, apparently. From what I hear about the Dudley stuff, they're like, we need more. Like some people from the remote channel or the remote group, there's one specific Spike Prep player. They're like, man, I really wish we could get more Dudley support. You know, Dudleys were their favorites, kind of thing. So it's like, yeah, no, I totally understand that. Stop giving the meta stuff. You know, just go for what people like.
See, I wouldn't mind doing like a full-blown depth on doing a Dudley deck, but like my problem is I don't think I would do it justice compared to like Living Proof or Crushing the Meta.
Oh, yeah.
Like I was gonna do like a video specifically on like all the clans I play, but I was going to exclude Spike Brothers because of that particular reason.
Yeah, no, I totally. I know what you mean. Yeah. Yeah. Interestingly enough, set 1 wise, like, it's not like I'm really looking forward to a lot of stuff in set 1, just because like Kagura is like kind of It's not. Dauntless was the one main reason I was looking forward to. This was set 1. I don't know, just didn't feel anything from it. You know what I mean? Like, it just personally didn't see anything. Like, even the Bermuda stuff, I just can't find myself playing it.
It seems like all the hype stuff is in set 2, actually.
Yeah. I'll have to say, though, Thing Saber Dragon was somewhat of a hype, and I might pick a few up just for the hell of it. But my main problem with this card is that it's very, very specific, and I'm not a big fan of it, in all honesty. Like, you couldn't have wrote that turn to use this effect. So I'm just like, can I be hilarious and run the old Thing Saber Dragon and then go into this guy?
I can, yeah, more likely that'll happen.
You know, yeah. I was thinking like this, right? Use the old Thing Saber Dragon twice, and then on the third ride, go into the newer Thing Saber Dragon, you know? But I'm not a big fan of it. Like, it's just so slow. So I'm not even gonna bother at that point, in all honesty. So,
I mean, well, let me see if this will actually work with. No, I don't think this could work with Saint Guard, so I'm not probably.
It's too slow.
Yeah,
No,
yeah,
it's too
it's
slow.
way too slow, so I'm
You-
probably not gonna pick it up.
It's no, yeah, no. You'd rather just play MLB at that point if you really want the. Yeah, I know exactly my point. Yeah.
I don't understand why so many people like that deck. It's like so repetitive.
It's I don't either. Yeah. So that one's kind of very specific. It's very specific for certain people, just because of the cards they chose.
You know what I think killed it?
What?
Vowing Sword. So many people were disappointed with Vowing Sword.
Hilariously enough, a friend of mine who plays Narukami, when Vowing Sword came out, he was just disappointed as well. It was like, why would you play this if you had, Vanquisher and all this other stuff? It's like, yeah, I guess, but the card effect is so specific that why, it's like, might as well just play Vank.
Okay, I also have a slight issue with this too, because one of my major things is some of the reprint cards. Like, you don't get a reprint of Gauntlet Buster within this set, and you don't get a reprint of them in Revival Collection. So, like, at this particular point, the only reason to use Vowing Sword is if you wanted to play Eradicators, and that's your only choice. You have that and the other Great Dude. I can't remember what his name is.
Descendant.
Yeah, then Descendant.
Yeah. Unfortunately, this card just doesn't strike as anything decent. You all like the combo is still a Gauntlet Descendant, no matter how you look at it. Vowing Sword is just one of those budget cards now.
Wait, let me see. Does the grade 1 and the grade 2 saves this?
No. Spark Rain and Demolition?
Yeah.
No, it doesn't. It doesn't. It's, if anything, you could literally throw this in an Eradicator deck and it would still work. The Descending Gauntlet deck.
Yeah.
Like, it really won't change the difference at that point.
Oh yeah, they kind of got screwed over.
Yeah, unfortunately, it's this demo. At the end of the battle, this unit attack or boost. If this hit, draw a card, choose a card from your opponent's drop, bind it. If you bound, then this unit's on rear, put this unit in assault. Like, I get that that effect is actually pretty good, in all honesty. But that's all it does. Let's see, the Spark Rain. During your turn, this unit gets 1k for each card in your opponent's bind zone. At the end of the battle, this unit attack, counterbalance 1, choose the column this unit is in, bind all of its front row, rears, and move all of it. No. You have no. You have Cho-Oh and all this other stuff. You have freaking Vank. Literally, why? Such a useless, like, again, like, with Vowing, it's so, unfortunately, it's just bad.
Shit.
So that's why, like, set 1 was a bit of a disappointment.
See, and I would have been okay with the Pale Moon stuff, because like the grade 3 is very good, but no Golden Beast Tamer reprint.
Yeah, I like the idea of a Bunny Beast Tamer, but unfortunately, when you go this route of Beast Tamers, it's very, very lackluster.
True.
So, sorry, Bushi, but you kind of just killed it. The set one clan collection wasn't as strong as what it needed to be. Like, hell, Tetra Drive, yes, it's good, but it's not like it's, that. I like the bait, though. I liked their bait. They're like, oh yeah, Tetra Drive is gonna retain an old what was it? Some old effect or something, and it was the plus 2K. I was like, really? You're really gonna do this? That's some dumb shit right there.
You mean Tetra Drive the end?
Oh yeah. Well,
it's
yeah.
basically the end.
Yeah, it kind of is. Yeah. At least with the end, you have the cross to kind of supplement it, so actually it's actually usable.
Oh yeah, that's true.
It actually did something. The cross actually did something with it. So, let's see if I can find that picture again. It was hilarious when I saw it.
Actually, speaking
Oh,
of
here it
like
is.
the
Oh, here it is. Blue Wave Dragon, Tetra Drive Dragon. Stand your vanguard by having your units attack multiple times. In addition, it owns that skill to open the feature. Counter last one. Get plus 2K until end of turn. And it's the SpongeBob meme with Squidward, pulling out a chair. That one here, I'll put it.
Oh, is it the one where he puts the chair in and he sees something and he goes back inside?
Yeah, that one. Yeah, that one. Yeah, that one. So that was hilarious when I saw it. I was like, oh, okay.
All right. So before we get to the Link Joker stuff, what is your opinion of the Seal Dragon support for premium format?
Oh, you mean like its usability in there in Prem?
Yeah.
In Premium? I mean, it makes cross origin live, so like they can run blockade in Premium instead of having to rely on Blockade Inferno and any other Seal Dragon card in Premium. But in all honesty, I really don't think it's gonna change anything.
Which is true. And
yeah.
I agree with that. I 100% agree with that. But what makes it even worse is, okay, let's say you're a newer player trying to get into the game. You're trying to get into the game and you want to pick up Kagero, right? If you were to base it just off of this collection and Clan Selection Volume 2 with the Dauntless support.
Yeah,
Do you believe that is it possible to mix up both of those for V series? I don't know about premium, but for V series.
So just using the V selection, clan collection from last set for Dauntless, and then this.
Yeah.
For an extremely budget deck, yes, you can. It's not going to be as strong as what most other Kagero decks will be, unfortunately. And you kind of have to delve out of the realm of clan selection to kind of make your deck better. And at that point, you kind of forego the blockade if you go that route. But if you're just going purely clan selection, you could potentially do it. It's not like it's impossible. But whether your deck will win or not, it's an uphill battle because of the fact that with Dauntless blockade, you're not getting enough advantage to make it worthwhile. You know what I mean?
That's true.
Yeah. Like, I understand the gimmick, but at the same time, it's like, I don't think it's gonna be that detrimental.
That's true.
No, I mean, some people will argue with me on this, but I'm just, speaking in terms of realistically, it's like,
I can agree with that. And then it doesn't help, like, premium-wise either, that all of the revival selection support is all Overlord.
Well, one of them is not. Well, maybe I guess you could say 2, but
I mean, all of the grade 3s are Overlord, but then you have like the Nile Chicken, and then you also have Valor. Which
Dumjit.
I'm surprised they reprinted Valor. Yeah, Dumjit.
Yeah, it's because the card itself was such a. I mean, I think they're just choosing a stride that you see constantly used. In all honesty, though, I really was hoping they choose Ziegenberg.
I'm surprised they didn't.
Yeah, because Ziegenberg was more of a like. I see what they're doing, right? Doomjid is more of a quote-unquote guaranteed restand if your opponent uses a Sentinel. However, Ziegenberg restands no matter what, as long as you're GB2.
True.
Or, I mean, upon activating the effect, GB2 or GB3 or whatever it was. And it's like, why not reprint Ziegenberg? Ziegenberg was one of the most iconic cards back in the day. You know, heck, they even chose to bring Destiny back in Revival, and so and I mean, like, look, might as well go into like the Kagero stuff, right? It was Valor, Denal Chicken, Overlord, the Turnabout, which is a manga card.
Which, interestingly enough, like, you can at least update your Dauntless support with it in the series.
Yeah. No, you can't run that. He's not considered a V card.
Wait, really? Oh shit.
Nope. No, he's not considered a V card.
Oh, damn, that changes everything.
Yeah, at least that's what I recall. I don't think you're allowed to be able to use if the code is there, then yes, you could. I don't think it is there though.
I do see the V symbol on the bottom of it.
Is it though? Let me see. If it is, then you could. Dragonic Overlord the turn.
Because that would be pretty messed up, because like you were able to use them in Japan though, but like if they put that restriction in English, then damn, that's.
Oh no! Okay, no. They're allowing it. Yeah, it's a V card. Yeah, I'm looking at it now. Yeah, I couldn't see the symbol, so I wasn't sure, but it is counted as a V card. Okay. So yeah, no, you're allowed to use it. Yeah. So that's good. At least you got a V card to kind of bring up Overlord. Destiny, the Cross, Belog, and then Inspiriel. So I mean, I understand them releasing Inspiriel, that I don't know why though, because in all honesty, if people were looking for Inspiriel, I literally have almost a big box full of it. Like if I just go through all my comments from whenever Inspiriel came out, I'm pretty sure I'd find at least more than a playset.
To be fair, one of the requirements of the 7 released cards was that one of them had to be a stand trigger.
Yeah, true, but I'm just like, really? You're choosing? I mean, Inspiriel definitely was a great choice. However, I feel like there would have been better choices if we're going for like Kagero. Let's see. Let me see. Kagero. Stand triggers. Stand. All sections. Oops. Kagero. What happened? Oh, that's why.
And Belog probably needed a reprint. Wait, let me see how much he is.
Belog? Oh, he's cheap. Yeah,
Belog cereal.
Yeah. I guess.
Oh
yeah.
He's like $1 though, but.
Yeah, no, he's cheap. I guess I could see why. I mean, in comparison to the other regular stand triggers, they're not really good. Inspiriel is probably one of the better ones for sure. Hey, wait. You know what they could have printed?
Another one?
You know what they could have chosen?
What?
Flame Seed Salamander. I'm just kidding.
Blech.
I'm just kidding. There's 2 other GB stand triggers that they could have chosen, but Inspire Yell was one of those that let you draw a card for after putting when you put it after you put it back in the deck.
Oh, it's one of the stand triggers that goes back into the deck. That explains.
Yeah, and you get to draw, So I mean, I could totally see that. However, I fail to kind of understand their theory, because it's like, okay, you give us Inspire Yell for that one, and then suddenly you decide to give us the old ass Link Joker one from who knows long ago.
Oh yeah,
Dysprosium. Counterbalance 1 put this in the soul. It's a Palladium. The card's literally a Palladium as a stand trigger. I'm just like, why'd you give us this one? Why didn't you give us one of the deleter ones? Like, I guess I can understand it because it's a Starvator, and it's it goes with hand in hand with the Palladium stuff. But at the same time, it's like, this card's kind of crap, in all honesty. Like, no one runs this. No Link Joker player runs this crap.
I mean, I literally forgot about this card until they brought this up.
Yeah, it's not even a GB. Like, okay. But yeah, for sure with Kagero, I don't know why they chose Valor. They really just... I didn't like how they chose Valor for this. I mean, yes, it's a generic Stride, but so was Ziegenberg, if you think about it. And before anyone says it, it's like, oh, okay, well, remember how Dragonic Blade Master Cohen, mainly used Ziegenberg? Yeah, I call bullshit because that was in the anime. In real life, all the Destiny players I knew ran Ziegenberg.
Yeah,
literally,
true.
Literally everyone made the joke. When Destiny came out, Cohen was literally threw to the side and was like, oh, hey, let me just steal the Ziegenberg from you.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
I do remember that.
Yeah, I ran it that way. Everyone did. It was just like, oh, first Stride, freaking, either it was like people ran Purge or whatever the rare was that allowed you to draw, and then afterwards, Ziegenberg. It was like, or maybe Drachma, depending on how you looked at it, but it was just like, it was so generic. Ziegenberg was so good.
True.
So, yeah. So I was like, okay, I guess this is an interesting lineup.
Actually, I thought of something. Let me look it up just to make sure. Yeah. Was Ziegenberg reprinted in the first revival?
No.
Wait, what was the Kagero card that was reprinted in revival?
Pretty sure it wasn't Ziegenberg, because it would help if I typed. Oh, okay, it did. Okay, I typed in Ziegenberg in Google without Vanguard, and I was thinking like it would pop up some really awkward card. Okay, so Ziegenberg was never reprinted besides in Demonic Advent.
Oh my god!
You see how old this card is? Then, like, it's like, oh man.
No, wait, Demonic Advent was the set that he came out in.
Exactly. He never got a reprint set. That's how bad it was.
Interesting.
Or not bad, but like that's how how old he is.
Wait, what was the? Oh, it was the Purge that got reprinted. That's right.
Yeah,
that was the Purge that got reprinted in the Revival collection.
Yeah, it was Purge. I forgot. Yeah. So yeah, seeing them do this, I was like, okay. I'm sure everyone would prefer Ziegenberg over Valor. Like, I get it, Valor is good, but at the same time, it's like, nah, I don't know.
They ain't trying to give Kagero too much like leverage right now.
Yeah, they're literally, I guess so. I guess their idea is like, oh, hey, you want a Ziegenberg? Go and buy one. It's like, yeah, okay, I guess, yeah.
How much is Ziegenberg? Oh shit, this is like
probably like
$15 right now.
What? Are you serious?
Yeah, I'm looking at it right now. This dude, like, the lowest one is like 13.
Not SP, right? You're not looking at SP, I hope.
No, this is regular.
Wow. For a very old card, I'm impressed. that Ziegenberg maintained his value as a $15 card.
Well,
That actually shows how good he is, though. That if you think of it that way.
I think like part of the reason is because everybody's defaulting to like 12 to 16 stand Blade Master, and like there isn't really that many generic cards that doesn't go with Overlord. And like Ziegenberg's like literally the next best thing.
Yeah, for a guaranteed restander that's not Doomjid, yeah, for sure. Yeah, unfortunately, yeah.
Yeah, I think that one had like I still think Kagro had like some of the better like reprints out of this whole set. A few of the clans I felt like got screwed over. Like I felt like Murakumo got screwed over.
Yeah, they did get yeah, what was it? I saw it was Yasue Goma, Shibaraku Victor, the G Guard, something Spark. I can't really see it.
Hold on, let me try to find it.
The PR card. Yeah, Tembu or Tombu or Tembu or whatever, the one that gets power every time. Oh, our Arigato Spark, dual weapon. Hidden Scroll was good though. I like that.
Hidden Scroll was amazing. But
or Hidden Scroll. Yeah, Hidden Scroll. Yeah. Arigato Spark was like an interesting one because I was like, why?
Okay. All they had to do was not reprint this Shibaraku Buster and reprint the other Shirayuki from 2015. Like how you doing all of this promotion for Shirayuki and not reprinting the major card they need for premium?
Yeah, the very OG stride of Shirayuki. Yeah.
And the sad thing is, all you really need her for is for flip fodder.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's so dumb.
Yep. Actually, no. Thinking about it, I actually don't think Murakumo got the short end of the stick. If anyone actually did get the short end of the stick, I would have to say Royals did.
Oh wait, what did Royals get? Hold up.
King of Knights Alfred.
They did. Oh wait, hold on. Let me look at this.
Yeah.
Oh my god, it's the older King of Knights. What?
Yeah.
Bushiroad, why?
My biggest question exactly. When I first saw that, I was like, please tell me you are kidding here. And no, and it was not a joke. It was actually real. And I was like, wait, did you literally troll everyone who played Royals with this set? I was like, holy jeez. I was just like, holy crap, okay.
Okay, I would have rather took the Alfred that came out in the what was that Try 3 set, like the one that shit, what was it?
Not Holy Saber. I think I know what you're talking about.
It was the same set that we got the second Asha and the second Altmal from.
Oh, yeah. Crap, I don't think I know who you're talking about. Shoot.
Where is it? What is it? Try 3 next?
I think so. If you're talking about Searing Heart, Asha?
Yeah. Is that set?
I think so. Yeah.
Let me look
just type in. Just to be able to get to the set.
Where's grade 3?
Ranunculus of Searing Heart, Asha.
Oh, Alfred Oath. Luminous Light, Knights of Night,
Yeah,
Alfred Oath. Yeah, that one.
yeah, no, that card would have been great. Yeah, no, that would have been a good reprint.
Why is
Hell,
he $10?
Alfred Oath,
Yeah.
because that's the only print of him.
Oh, yeah, and he's a triple rare.
Yeah. Also, I mean, even then, they didn't have to bring. They didn't have to choose an Alfred. They could have chosen Exceed, Blaster Blade Exceed from the Mega deck or whatever you call it.
Oh yeah, most definitely.
Yeah, that would have worked well with that Gancelot Peace Saber. And like you said, right? If they wanted an Alfred to work with LaRousse, then yeah, Alfred Oath. Alfred Oath would have been a good choice here. But no, they chose the original 10k base King of Knights. And I'm like, why? Why did you just do that? That is the stupidest thing I've ever seen.
Well, I'm trying to think of what Pale Moon got reprinted. Oh,
Pale
stuff.
Yeah, Pale Moon got the let's see, the promo Harry, the Cold Heart G-Guard, Phantom Harry, Baton Twirler. I don't know where that one's from. Definitely a good reprint was Flying Paradin and Purple Trapezes.
Oh yeah, because Purple Trapeze most definitely needed that reprint.
Yeah, because I mean, between it was a very old print. There was no way, not many people were able to find it. And then Paraton being a rare from that one set, it was like, oh, pretty hard.
True.
Yeah. Let's see. Bermuda. I mean, their choices are pretty good. Crook. I mean, yeah, it's limited to one, so I mean, sure. Twa's good because it definitely needed the reprint. Spica, debatable. Riviere, definitely a needed reprint. Tidua, sure. Anj got a third reprint, and then, G-Guard wise, Citron's good. So, I mean, like, overall, about 60% of it were good choices for BT. Shadow Paladin. Woo! This must be one of the most busted ones. 6 out of 7, by the way. 6 out of 7, the best.
Those are very good reprints.
Yeah, Curse Eye Raven, one of the best cards in Shadows. Belial Owl, one of the best Luard support crits. Esra, one of the best PGs. Luard, Dragfall, yeah, that was good. Plotmaker, one of the best Shadow G guards. Morfessa, so freaking broken as Stride.
That Stride is mad broken.
And then you got a dumb PBD break ride for no apparent reason.
I still think that's like the best PG that existed in the game.
Esras, I agree. It is one of the best PGs recyclable ever. Especially with how the deck interacts with grade 1s. That thing is dumb.
Exactly. Then I think everybody else has some decent. I'm pissed at Genesis. You mean to tell me that you gonna reprint the older Minerva, but don't bring a V-Series version of Minerva?
You know what? One thing I was actually kind of saddened with, that they chose the Amaruta Stride and not the Minerva Stride. It's like, really, you're going to reprint the grade 3 Minerva Regalia, and you would not and give the soul support and stuff like that, but you would not print the Minerva from the Stride. It's like, wow, okay, I guess. Everything else is okay. It's just like, ugh.
Wait, no way.
What?
I'm looking at the Narukami. No way.
Yeah.
Did they reprint the same card twice?
What do you mean? Oh, Cholo?
Yes! the V series show is getting reprinted in both the Revival Collection and
this is the same. Oh yeah, you're right. One of my
the
friends
V series.
So one of my friends pointed this out. They're looking at it, it's like, wait, did they really just choose the same Cho-Oh and reprinted it again in Revival? Yeah, that was it. Yes.
But why though?
You can't get enough Cho-Ohs apparently, right?
Yeah, he did keep going out of stock, and he is pretty universal even outside of Eradicator. So I could kind of sort of see it though, but why?
He's gonna be a 10-cent card.
At this particular point.
Yeah. DI has got pretty good ones. Dark Cat or Monochrome of Nightmare Land, that was a good stand to get because that is so hard to find. But yeah. Yellow Bull, I mean it's old. D Creeper, that one, the OG D Creeper, that's a pretty good one.
Oh yeah,
don't know why.
Pretty good.
Yeah, don't know why they chose Shahara though. Shahara just felt off. This Shahara, they should have chose a different one.
True.
I got Bat Malot, pretty good G guard. Lettermouse, good G unit, and then Daimonis.
See, now looking at this, I don't even think they're really gonna ban him.
I doubt it. Yeah.
And I keep telling everybody, like, even if they ban him, like, Dark Irregular still has a very good Stride lineup.
Yeah. I mean, it won't really change much. Yeah. Let's see. The bug lineup is pretty good. Overwhelm, Tyrannus, Morphician, Relish Lady, Dark Face Gridora. Surprised they gave you Tree Hopper.
I know, right? I'm like, wait, why?
I understand though, Tree Hopper is a pretty good crit, but it's like not many people run that one now. But yeah, it's surprising that they gave it 2 G units, 2 G guards, a specific grade 3, and then 2 triggers. It's like, holy jeez.
You know what?
Are they trying to? Yeah.
I was hoping that like they would have at least also put the OG Matende Immune Darkface in there.
Oh yeah. I was kind of thinking they would, but oh well, guess not.
But I think a card that definitely needed to get reprinted was Brilliant Blister.
Yeah, because it was a promo. So.
And then look at this Pog move that they did with Neo Nectar, where they reprinted like the new Sylvia.
Right, that's what I thought too. I was like, damn. I'm like, okay, Valhamina, great, good. Antero, good. Searing Heart, why? Like, why did you choose Searing Heart with Valhamina and not Blue? Not Blush? I was like, okay, I guess. Like, I personally couldn't care less for Neo Nectar, but goddamn, why? And then, like you said, right, Sylvia, Gladiolus. I mean, that's fine because Gladiolus was a trial deck card, so I totally understand that. Lilga is such a, I don't know, awkward choice here. That I guess.
Well,
and then Elizabeth.
From what I remember, like around the time where like Katrina was a thing, I think people were still kind of sort of using her.
You do.
Yeah. You know, I think no, not when Katrina was a thing. When the new version of Asha came out, people were still using her because they were still using the Bloom engine.
Yeah, it was good. It's just like you mainly used it on the Katrina thing because Katrina got the beneficial out of it.
True. And I forgot all about this Great Nature promo.
Yeah. What is it? The monkey.
Yeah.
Symbol monkey. Yeah. in all honesty, I didn't even realize the orangutan was a stand trigger.
Oh
But
yeah.
most of these are, but most of these are definitely good reprints for sure.
That's true. And then what else was there? The Aqualons were alright.
Oh, Crayon Tiger was a good choice.
Oh, thank the Lord, we finally got a reprinted Grand Tiger.
Yeah, that was a good one.
Now I can finally make multiple like premium Great Nature decks now.
Right. Let's see. There should be more, unless I kind of missed the other one.
Let's see the.
Oh, here we go. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Gears. Bearlock. That was an interesting one that they chose.
I forgot all about that one too.
Yeah, that was a good, interesting choice for them to put in the set choices. Yeah. Besides that, though, there wasn't really a lot of other crazy stuff.
True.
Yeah. Their choice on the Link Joker one, though, I can't really disagree with them. Again, 6 out of 7 on their choice, since the stand trigger is so useless in personally. But their choices on cards: Freeze Ray, solid choice. Crisis, one of the main grade 3s, solid. Both Cosmo Wraith and Lacus Karina, those are really good G guards. Sad that Destiny Guardian didn't get chosen, since the combo is there for him, but...
Oh yeah, that's true.
Glue Ball Dragon? Oof, good card. Great card to use for Chaos, or for any Starvader, really, at that point. And then Deluge. I was like, okay, yeah, no, I totally understand Deluge. Deluge is like a $20, $30 card, depending on where you look. So, I can totally see that.
Yeah, that selection was actually pretty good.
Yeah. So, I mean, yeah.
Alright, so now that we actually looked at Link Joker, did you want to start on the Starvader stuff?
Yeah, I mean, since we're on the topic of it, so we're going straight to... So the next part of the topic is going straight to V Selection 2, which is probably one of the better sets out of the clan selections, really, at this point. So with this one, it had... So mainly... Oh, man. What is it, dude? Okay, so some of the main cards in here, besides the, obviously the reprint, you got Infinite Zero Dragon as our new main grade 3 that is getting, it's... I don't know what you call this, like a revival.
Yeah, I guess so.
yeah, it's getting its revival, because last set was Chaos Breaker, so now we're getting Infinite Zero, which is kind of weird how they did it, because technically speaking, in the OG series, we had Infinite Zero first, then Chaos. Yeah. Or Nebula Lord. I think a lot of us were expecting Nebula Lord, but then, what can you complain? You can't complain about that. Infinite Zero. And funny enough, with Infinite Zero, there is a stride for it. So, this can be used in, in that deck.
I forgot all about the Nebula Lord stride. I mean...
Sorry about that. Yeah.
I mean, not the Nebula Lord, the Infinite Zero.
Yeah, the Infinite Stride, the quintessential... Whatever that is. Yeah, I don't know. I never used it. I have it. I never used it.
Because I thought, overall, it was more of a budget card.
It is. It was. It was definitely a budget card, for sure. And then the other main cards you got was Starvader, Colony Maker, which, I mean, great to see it back again, but wow. I was kind of surprised, not really.
I love the artwork.
Yeah, no, the new artwork for the new Starvaders, I mean, the redone Starvaders, they're good. And then the next one we got was Prison Gate Starvader Palladium. So hey, look, Palladium's back. Speaking of Palladium, after so many times, and then after that we got the Heal Guardian Grade 3, the Heal Grade 3, which is called Oblivion Quasar Dragon. And before anyone says anything, yes, I know it's a Quasar Dragon. I don't care. It's a Quasar Dragon. I'm just, if for some reason you hear me say shooting Quasar Dragon, I'm sorry. That's the first thing that popped in my head when I saw this. So, obviously, with some of the reprints they chose Lady Battler of the White Dwarf, which is the Grade 3 Searcher for Link, Joker, and V. Nordstrom Dragon, which is a Cyber Dragon kinda support. It's a countercharger for the deck, so it's really good.
I honestly don't even remember this card.
Oh yeah, no, not many people do. And the funny thing is, I run 2 of this guy in Chaos for the the pure Chaos deck that I had. It was so that I could countercharge, because I did use a lot of counterblast for my deck.
That works.
It had its uses, which is good. And then the last card was the Hard Sword of Polarization, Lagrangeard. This card, oh my god, this card is a Messiah card, by the way.
I see it.
Yeah, this is a Messiah card, and this card was in the one of the V Jump things, I forgot what it was, or V promo things in like a magazine. We could not get it for the longest time, and now we're finally able to get it in this set. So this is a long-awaited card that most of Messiah players are needing. So, like, they could have put this in the previous set, but God, I hate Bushi for doing this, making it difficult for this card to come out. So, whatever at this point. So, going by the new Starvaders, right? So we got 3 more Starvaders to add into our V-Series Chaos Breaker deck, or Starvader deck, which is good because now we have more targets. We have more Starvader targets, which was the problem whenever we wanted to trigger Craven Claw. Craven Claw had the ability on hit, whether it boosted or it attacked and hit, you could look at the top 5 cards, add a Starvader into your hand, and then you shuffle the deck. We had only 3, so that means 11 targets potentially, and you know how annoying that is. So now we got even more now, so I'm pretty happy with that.
Yeah, it makes it more consistent.
Yeah. Palladium has a really neat effect, and now we don't have to rely on having to ride Craven Claw. We can ride Palladium now. Palladium's effect is auto. When rode upon, you may call this card to rear. So literally, you just ride this as your first ride over it. Hey, look, I just got a Palladium onto rear card circle.
That's good.
Yeah, no, it's sweet. When your opponent's locked card is unlocked, counterblast 1, retire this unit. Your opponent looks at the top card of their deck and puts it on an open rear as a locked card. I was like, oh, okay. So instead of going into soul, it retires itself. But I'm like, but the fact that it gives you the ability, it makes it where your opponent is forced to call the top card of their deck onto an open rear. That's neat,
Oh yeah, just to keep the thing going.
Yeah, there's a little interaction I'm gonna probably do with this card, and it involves a certain win con that Link Joker has.
A win con that Link Joker has.
Yep. The one specific win con that Starvader has specifically.
Wait, is this in premium or V premium?
The regular premium.
Oh, shit, how you say his name?
Glendios.
Yeah, Glendios.
Yeah.
I'm gonna guess that he's gonna be like the next one when they do like the support again.
I hope. I want them to get more Starvaders to make Lendy a little bit more fun. I like to just have a little fun with him, so yeah. WinCon being a thing. So yeah, Palladium, changing from its original effect, it's not too bad. I mean, I'll give them that. Definitely a solid Starvader support. Yeah, I know I'm being a bit biased, but it's just like this card is what it kind of needed to make the Starvader deck work. So, okay, so the next one we got is Starvader Colony Maker. So the original Colony Maker was if your opponent had a locked card on the field and this was placed on rearguard circle, you counterblast one and call a grade 1 Starvader. This time around, when its effect is a little bit different, when this unit is placed on rear or van or rear, Soul Blast one, ditch a card from hand, look at 5 cards from the top of the deck, choose up to 1 Starvader and its card name from among them, call it to rear as rest, shuffle your deck. If your opponent has a locked card, though, you call it as stand. That's fine. I could not have cared less if it was called in the rest or stand, because it's a trade-off. You literally trade... Yeah, you trade off 1 for 1. So... What's up?
No, I was agree with you about the whole trade 1 for 1.
Yeah, and I mean, I'm fine with that. I don't have to use counterblast for this, so it's a great, support for it. And then last but not least, the OG trial deck card that became, that became a revival variant of a card, Starvader Infinite Zero Dragon. So its effect is a bit interesting. When this unit is placed on van or is rode upon, you pay 1 counterblast, you discard a card. You choose one of your opponent's rears and lock it. If you have 4 or more damage, you choose 1 each from your opponent's front and back instead of just a singular one to lock. Now, here's the interesting thing. The fact that you get an automatic lock just from on play anywhere is actually not that bad. Since this is a target lock, the first effect. However, once you're at 4 or more, though, you're forced to only choose the front, one back. Which, I mean, I guess that's fine, because that kind of goes homage to the Break Ride effect. It's just kind of like, I guess. It's one of those things where I'm like, I could actually be funny and use this in Glendy.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Because oh hey, my opponent has 2 non-locked units, but 3 locked units. Okay, Break Ride on 5, lock 2, and then boom, WinCon. So it was just like, okay, that's actually kind of funny. And then he has a sweet effect though, either on van or rear. During your turn, this unit gets +5 for each of your opponent's locked cards. So he's a powerhouse on his own.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So, given that, I mean, interestingly, his old effect versus this effect, now we don't have to really wait on it. It's like you can just ride over it and you get the effect. Exactly. So, yeah. So I mean, I'll give him that. Good, definitely a decent effect. Not too game breaking, but it's definitely something that Chaos can utilize. So, yeah, I don't know. We'll see how it goes. I need to try him out, but yeah.
I feel like that the deck would be like a lot more consistent, and like anything that like Chaos Breaker was originally missing, it'll actually improve on it.
Yeah, I definitely will agree with that, because I mean, now we not only do we have more Cyber Dragon support now, but man, Chaos getting this support, that just adds it on, in all honesty. And now we, with the addition of Palladium, that's even better. Like, no matter what, your opponent's forced to play something. And that's the one main problem that Chaos had back when it was V-Era, was that we couldn't maintain a card lock if the opponent decides to just like, hey, bounce this card, shove it into Soul, blah blah blah. It was like one of those like.
Oh, you mean the
yeah.
main two suspects, which is Grand Blue and Pale Moon?
You sure you don't want to add a third, which is Gold Paladin?
That's right. Gold Paladin could do that too. I forgot.
With Aglavel? Yeah, it was annoying. But yeah, no, I mean all these cards, they are pretty good for set 2. So I'm definitely looking forward to that. But yeah, like looking at all the new stuff, the set 2 thing was probably one of the better ones, considering the choices. Raging Form. Raging Form was a really good card. It still is with its new form. Prominence Core had got a revival, which is great. Hosen, huh?
I was about to say Rage. What is it? Blade Master? Not Blade Master. Blade Wing.
Blade Wing got made a comeback. I actually forgot he came back. That's right. Blade Wing Reggie, which a lot of people were, happy about that he came back, as a card. Now, whether his effect is actually pretty interesting.
It looks like that's going to be the thing for Dark Irregulars now. They're going to do everything based on how many cards are in the soul. Because this is almost similar to what's
Amon?
his face? Yeah.
No,
not Amon. V-Series Castile.
Oh, Castile. Yeah, Castile. Yeah.
Where it looks like they're just becoming a ticking time bomb.
Yeah, which, I mean, that time bomb can go off really fast in terms of depending on the situation.
True.
Yeah. I could totally see. The funny thing with Reiji is that if somehow Daimonis' interaction gets kind of stopped in some way, I can see someone go Castile Reiji.
I thought that's what people were really going to do in the first place, to be honest.
I mean, like, this is before Reiji was, after announcing. Before announced, Castile was probably the prime suspect, but now it's like, oh, great, we're going to get this effect now. Oh, actually, no, never mind. You couldn't even do it.
Really?
There's no... So, no. So the problem is this. Blade Wing Reiji relies on the bind zone. And unfortunately, it's not great.
Oh.
Yeah, never mind. Yeah.
I forgot all the... Wait, let me look at it, because I kind of forgot about that, actually.
Yeah, he does rely on the bind zone. So if your soul has 10 or less cards, so the last one, choose a card from your soul, bind it face down. You get all the effects below depending on the number of face down cards in your bind zone. Remember how
counterproductive.
Yeah, it says when this unit attacks, if your bind zone has 15 or more cards face down, choose one of your opponent's vanguards and deal 2 damage. So it really is counterproductive because it's the fact that it needs to be bounded face down. Now, deleters are going to have a field day with this because deleters actually, not only does it delete the Vanguard, but it also actually powers up Raging, if you think of it that way.
Oh.
Because when you banish delete, it's face down.
Shit, so, I didn't even think about that. Hold on.
Yeah. However, there's the clutch here. Schwarzschild Dragon flips everything up, so it screws over Reiji.
Damn.
There was a meme there, like, I'm afraid of no one, but that one. Yeah,
he scares me.
He scares me, and it was Schwarzschild. I'm like, oh my god! And you remember Schwarzschild just flip all the face down cards in the bind zone face up.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh my god, this is a hilarious thing. And it's like, that's why Reiji might not be played.
For anybody listening to this who wants to play Link Joker, I know like the next thing you're thinking is to put Schwarzschild in the Link Joker. Do not do that. I mean, it's a Chaos Breaker. Do not do that.
Oh no. You know what? Just because of that, I dare every Link Joker player to do it. I dare you, because God, at this point, people will find anything to try. I dare you to try.
Unless your locals has more than one dark irregular main, then go ahead. But
Right. Exactly. It's not worth it. But yeah, no, there's definitely a fair bit of good cards to look forward to in set 2, like for sure, set 2. What about you?
let's see. So both my Neo Nectars and Great Natures are coming in there.
Right.
Finally glad that Chatnor came back.
Yep. The cat and the Legion pair for Vera Soul. Yeah.
Yeah, for Vera and Saul.
Yep. And you're also getting a reprint of Martina and Tor. just like the old that old set that had them in.
Yeah, which is actually pretty interesting. Like, they were already like sent, but you already know if they didn't do it, everybody was just gonna buy out both of the cards.
Oh yeah. Also, do you also realize that in this? I don't know if they were in the same set, but the set that contained Vera and Martina, I think also had Pinot Blanc or Pinot Noir. I think.
Wait, hold on. Let me see, because I want to say that's actually true, but I wonder if
I'm gonna look because we had this version. Okay, so we had this one.
So Blazing Prediction.
Tour Soul Martina.
Let's see.
There, Vera. So, yeah, I was right. So the version E. So our version E in the English one, the Vera and yeah, we got Vera and Pinot Blanc or Pinot Noir. Pinot Noir. They're both in, so surprisingly they're in the same set again.
Oh yeah, that makes it hilarious actually.
that they came back in the same set. I mean, unfortunately, oh shoot. If you also look at Mega Flare, same set.
What?
Version E. We're talking about version E, by the way. We're not talking about the OG. We're talking about version E.
Oh, we're talking.
Also, yeah. Unfortunately, Core was in a different set.
Oh shit.
Core, I think, was in Legions of Dragons and Blade. Yeah. Core was Legions of Dragons and Blade. So that's probably the one. But
the flashbacks is real.
Right.
Not only the flashbacks, like just looking at freaking Mega Flare.
Oh, you mean Cat Butler Razor?
Yes, that stupid deck. Even though to be honest, I feel like I don't know, man. It had too much setup, in my personal opinion, because
it did. So in the OG era, it did had too much setup because it relied on the fact that you had 3 Cat Butlers and then Legion into Ultimate Razor Mega Flare. I actually faced it once, and it was like I lost, but I mean back in the day I was running Yggdrasil.
Oh,
I was running. Yeah, so it was Break Ride Yggdrasil, but I died by Mega Flare before I could have done the Break Rides. I was like, God damn it.
Well, like one of the people that I normally play with, like Nova Grapplers is his main clan, so like I had to face against this shit often.
Yeah, for real, right? It's but yeah, that's why I think like with set 2 volume, clan collection, it is definitely one of the better few of the reprints. Like, it has more value out of it if you ever pick it up.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. And no, I'm not promoting. I'm just saying, hey, you know, if you're gonna go into like a V collection stuff for, you know, collection purposes or whatever, you know, set 2 is probably one of your best bets to go in.
Yeah, because it has everybody's favorites, and it has, yeah, there's way too much value in it. This one, even though there's a few reprints in this set that I feel like they dropped the ball majorly.
Yeah, no, for sure. Yeah.
Wait, hold on. Let me look at the other 2. Nope, they didn't reprint. What's her face from Angel Feathers? The Celestial Grade 3. Zacha.
Zarakio?
Yeah, Zarakio.
They wouldn't. I don't think they would have printed Zarakio in here. I mean, they could have, but I mean, I don't think it would have been a good idea to do so because they were trying to promote Gavriel. So that's probably why they chose Jafkiel.
True.
And yeah, and Scaling Angel. So yeah.
Well, actually, I don't think you necessarily don't need that one in V series, but if you're doing like Celestial like premium, then maybe so.
Yeah. Like, it's better to use Zarakil from the OG series, but I think they are just aiming for the fact that Jafkiel could be used generically, so that's kind of why they're doing that. But yeah, no. In terms of Celestial, they really could have just done, you know, chose all the Celestial cards that just came out.
True.
So, but yeah, I mean,
and then let's see. Oh, can we talk about how Compass Lion has this exact same effect, but he's just a 13k now?
yeah, I mean, I wasn't surprised when I saw it. I was like, let me guess, is it gonna have exactly the same effect? It's like, yes, it did. At the end of the turn, choose one of your rears, pop. It's like, okay, I can totally see that. And it's understandable because if we go back to the original Compass, it was 11k, had the same effect, so yeah, it made sense. It did make sense. Taping Cat was actually kind of interesting.
Yeah, I was actually surprised to see that one of all of them.
Yeah, because the original Taping Cat was Soul Blast 2 Draw 1.
Yeah, it was Soul Blast 2 Draw 1, and this one is...
When retired or this is discarded from deck, you Soul Blast 1 and perform one of the following. So you either draw 1 or choose a rear and it gets 5k. So, I mean, I'm sure a lot of people are just going to aim for the draw rather than instead of the power. So,
yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Chatnor was actually a interesting, you know, choice because I was like, oh, when it attacks, counterblast 1, draw 1, mill the top, and then perform one of the following effects below, depending on the card type. If it's on the Vanguard, you essentially chose to use an Isabel effect. Because Isabel, you know, made you, or had given you both choices.
Yeah, which is actually pretty good.
Yeah. Normal, if it milled a normal unit, you got 2 rear guard, give 2 your rear guards and they get 5 and then they die. Trigger units, choose one of your rears until the end of turn. That unit can attack from the back, gets 5 at the end of turn, pop it. That trigger thing, that second one, that kind of reminds me of Magnolia. But I mean, yeah, sure, I guess.
I mean, like, I wouldn't mind making like a Magnolia like Great Nature Premium.
Yeah, you could. Yeah, you could. Definitely could.
The other grade 2, I forgot what it was, but it's that pink fox thing. You can base, as long as you have Magnolia as your Vanguard, it should be able to choose a card to attack from the back row anyway.
Yeah. It's on play. Pay the cost, choose a card, and it can attack from the back. Yeah, I remember that. It's one of the newest cards they got. It's pretty good. So, yeah. But I mean, Chattanooga does definitely give Great Nature something to work with. So, pretty happy about that. Unfortunately, people were saying how they didn't get a new Crayon Tiger.
I'm actually surprised we didn't get a new Crayon Tiger though. But like, Chattanooga alone helps out both. They help out both Big Belly and they help out Isabel at once.
Yeah.
Actually, all three of the cards, they help out both of those decks at once. It's like literally these three cards are the missing pieces to both of those decks.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, for Vieira. Yeah.
And we're getting a Lemire finally.
Right. Yeah. I think overall, that definitely set 2 does give the best bang for its buck. So.
Yeah, so if anybody's new trying to play the game, like this is most definitely like the set to choose.
Yeah, it's definitely a good start. This is a definitely good start to getting cards and building decks. You know, just choose what you want and go from there. So that doesn't mean like set 1's bad either. It's just like pick your choices wisely. So
yeah, you have like 24 clans to choose from.
Yep. But there can only be one. What? No, I'm just kidding.
Actually, like, one of the weird things that I've been trying to figure out for the longest is why did they make more Ancient Dragon support, but it doesn't do what the true Ancient Dragons did?
Oh, for the Vieira stuff?
Yeah, like, Spindle Driver looks like more of a Gaia support card.
Let's see, because I actually didn't realize that either. Because remember, they're not true Ancient Dragons then.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Jokes.
No pun intended.
Yeah. Because they're not the true ones. When this attacks from Van or is rode upon, counterblast 1, retire 2. Get an Excel, draw 1, choose a card from hand, call to rear, then choose 2. You get. Oh. Yeah. Draw to reveals trigger, put the top card of your deck face down as an equip gauge for this unit. Yeah, I mean, I guess. I mean, technically speaking, if you remember, Spina Driver was a break ride, so.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. So I can kind of see why. Dino Crowd. Dino Crowd's what did the original Dino Crowd do? This guy. It's the one that popped one to gain 5k.
Yeah.
Oh, this guy. Okay. No wonder I didn't recognize this guy. I was like, what the heck is this? When attack, Soul Blast 1 retired until the end of the battle, gains 10 and 5k for each of this unit's equip gauge. When your draw check reveals a trigger unit, put the top card of your deck face down as an equip gauge. Okay, I mean, yeah, it's kind of like. Wait, which card did you say? It was more like.
It was more like Gaia support.
Yeah, it was. And then grade 1 Igranagorg was. If this card has an equip gauge, cost is reduced by counterblast 1. When this is retired, counterblast 1, call this card to an open rear as rest. Oh, okay, yeah, no, that makes sense.
Just like the original one, almost.
Yeah, in terms of bringing back. Though, I guess, like, yeah. I guess, like, if you... Yeah, I guess it's the idea that if you hit one singular trigger unit, all these cards get a gauge. So, yeah. It definitely feels like a Gaia support, and it also feels like a what's his name? That dumb card.
Oh, from the regular revival. I mean, not regular revival. The clan
No,
selection.
no. You
Oh,
know,
freaking what's his face? Why can't I
I
think of
can't.
his Anger Blader?
Anger Blader, yeah. I feel like it could also help Anger Blader because some cards are able to kind of shift those cook gauges and everything of that sort. So, yeah. I don't know. It's yeah, but for sure, I think it's like it is definitely feels like a Gaia Emperor card or Gaia Emperor support. So,
Like Guy is slowly getting redemption for his support because like even the one from clan selection,
it was mediocre.
yeah, it helped out Gaia a lot actually.
Oh, yeah, but did it make it do anything? Not really. Or did it?
I mean, it stayed as like a very good rogue deck because even with the constant toss with golds and angel feathers, I still seen like some Tachi tops, both in V standard and in premium format.
Yeah, most of those people ran the Anger Blader.
Oh yeah.
Most of them just focused on Anger Blader, and they didn't get Anger Blader. They had an alternative 3 that kind of slowed it down to where until they get it. So, yeah. I mean,
Which is good.
it was, yeah.
So, obviously, like the Link Joker stuff can also work completely in premium, like no problem.
Oh yeah, no. The fact that it's a Starvader name, 100% it works.
And then, unlike Kagero, you can actually mix up the clan selection and the clan collection support together because they're both Starvaders.
Yeah, and it's actually very good support to it. Like it's good, like actual support to it. Like Palladium, Colony Maker, Infinite Zero, they all, benefit in some way in the new Starvader decks and stuff like that. I'll have to say Infinite Zero maybe not as much, but if you're a budget player and you're like a really big Infinite Zero fan from back in the day, this is definitely for you. Otherwise, like the only cards you really need is Palladium and the Colony Maker, because they are definitely the biggest support for the decks, and especially in premium, you have so many Starvader choices. You're not locked into what you need.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I'm surprised out of both times. I was expecting them to like redo Zinc, but they didn't.
You know how busted Zinc was for Chaos Breaker? I didn't doubt them not doing anything to bring Zinc back. I was like, yeah, no, I'm not gonna hold my breath. But that's also why you run the original Zinc in the deck, because then it allows you to do, Soul Charge and Counter Charge. That's why the card was stupidly powerful.
Oh yeah, it was.
Yeah. So I don't blame Bushi for that. Half the time I don't blame really Bushi for their choices, because it's like, well, you did make Chaos be one of the most powerful decks for a fair while, and made people pissed off at the deck, and it's like, oh, I hate Lock. It's like, deal with it, God. Like Lock, it's like every time I hear anyone that talks about Chaos, it's always, oh yeah, I hate Lock. It's like, you obviously were one of those few people who didn't really learn how to play around the gimmick of Lock, because anyone else that I've actually practiced with had some idea on how to face Lock, whether it was using interaction cards or like do something, be able to like counteract it in some way, shape, or form. Because it's like, I play it a certain way, and not many people play it my way. Mine's more I mean, I don't want to toot my own horn, but it's just like, I feel like the way I play Lock, I make the most out of it and essentially force my opponent into a really, really bad situation. But what most people don't realize is, or what most people don't know is, how, when and how to do that,
True.
Yeah. So people think it's simple, but it's not. You have to kind of understand the interaction. But no, people just look at it face value, and they're like, "Oh, I hate lock. Lock sucks. The lock shouldn't even be a thing. Bushi should do away with lock." It's like, really? And yet you want shit like 10, 20 attack Gold Paladin, OTK, Gavriel, 60k 5 attack rear guard, swings from Shadow Paladin and all this other shit. It's like, what, you really expect people to not play some counter bullshit?
Exactly.
Yeah.
So here's how I saw lock. I feel like that it depended on the deck that I was playing, in my personal opinion. Like, I can play something like Nubatama or whatever and have some type of alternative, but if I was to play, like, let's say Nova Grappler or Aqua Force for a prime example, I would more likely lose because I wouldn't know how to play around it if everything is super rearguard based.
Yeah, I definitely agree with you there. Anything that had like a reliance on rear guards definitely had a difficult time. And although weirdly enough, Nova Grappler did have a G guard that not Nova Grappler, sorry, Aquaforce had a G guard that allowed them to flip over locked cards. That could only really do so much.
Yeah.
But I mean, back then, in premium Aquaforce, they had the power, level to kind of maintain that. So
true.
Nova, I think, also had that type of card as a G guard as well that could flip itself over and then, unlock a card. So I mean, eventually we had G guards and stuff to kind of combat lock. But if your opponent was really, really paying attention and stalled it out well enough to where it's like, oh, okay, I'm limiting your resources, so choose wisely on what you got to do, then you as the player, you kind of have to be like, what should you prioritize and stuff like that. And sometimes you're not making full use of your cards, you don't have a choice, so
which is true. And I also feel like it's slightly Bushiroad's fault for not giving out counters in for not giving out enough counter cards on a timely manner. Because like when Link Joker started getting like really good when it first came out, it was like it got up to a point where it was like if you weren't playing Gold Paladins, you couldn't really do much with it. And I also kind of feel like that even with some of the support cards, like I forgot what the Cray Elemental was that you Soul Blast to, and you unlock a card.
Soul Blast, was it 2? I thought it was 1. Pocker.
Oh, Pocker, yeah. Oh, let me check just to make sure. So
that was Soul. Chris one was Soul Blast 1, but I could be wrong.
Pocker. Oh, it's Soul Blast 1. Okay, so yeah, I'm messing up. It's Soul Blast 1. And you can unlock a card, but it's like you're not going to it's like Vanguard doesn't have a side deck, and you're not going to waste a slot just to hopefully see if you're going to play against Link Joker or not. Well,
here's also the problem with Pocker, and it's the fact that back then you were only allowed 5 circles, right? 5 rearguard circles.
Yeah.
Or it's not allowed, but you only had 5 rearguard circles. If the Link Joker player literally locked all 5 of your rearguard circle, good luck calling that pucker.
Facts.
Yeah. So it literally relied on you needing a card to unlock something and then call pucker to kind of start to unlock the field.
The only clan that I can remember that can play it in the main deck and not really minus was Grand Blue.
Pale Moon too.
Oh yeah. Pale Moon could do that too. So
Pale Moon had Harry for the unlocking.
Again, the typical like two main suspects.
Yeah. Although weirdly enough, Chaos kind of fell off the loop after Heritage came to play. So it was like initially it would have been Pale Moon, but the thing was like, and I mean the person who ran the Lucia page that's non-existent anymore.
Yeah, she graduated.
She would agree with me that, albeit Pale Moon does have a good matchup in terms of using the Stride Harry, it wasn't a guarantee because of the fact that depending on the Link Joker player, it really, at the end of the day, it didn't really matter.
Oh yeah,
because it's like you put 2 to call 3. Okay, I lock 5. Good luck. It's like, okay, you're calling, you're shoving 2 in to call 2. So yeah, it was one of those things, and yeah, I mean, it's all player. It's all on the player, and if you know how to kind of do what you need to do and not get affected by it that heavily, you essentially could come out on top. Lock is not that all powerful that people think. It's just people don't want to think.
Oh yeah. They wanna
they just
their
want
way through.
Yeah, they just want to punch face and think it's it. Like, okay, sure, I guess that's what you want. It's like, I mean, this is all Vanguard. It's like the entirety of Vanguard. All I hear is, oh, I want to just unga bunga. It's like, what do you not want to think about your moves? Do you not want to understand how to, learn how to play around and think outside the box? Kind of that spiel. No, people don't want to.
Well, if you really think about it, like, that's basically every card game in general.
Yeah, but then it's like, when you look at it, though, most people don't even bother with that, and they just go, oh, hey, let's take an example, Yu-Gi-Oh! Yes, you're quote-unquote thinking outside the box, but half the time it's literally break my board.
Yeah, that's true. And then, like, they don't really stress too much out about it, because then, like, the side deck is there to, like, fill in the gaps to help you, like, win the match. Or to combat against the thing that's holding you back.
Yeah. It's... Unfortunately, it's... I don't know. It's just it is just Link Joker. That's just how it is. People hate it, and I understand, but just wish people don't have that hard stigma on it. That's all.
All right, any player who's listening to this, just know that if you can combat Link Joker, you can pretty much beat any deck in the game.
Yeah. Unless you try to face me, then I'll just give you a hell of a hard time at that point. I don't care who you are. If you face my Link Joker deck, I'm gonna give you a hell of a hard time trying to win. So, like, anyone can ask. Yeah, anyone can literally ask. Anyone I know, and they could tell you if you face my Link Joker deck, you've got a high bar to go around, or go across.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Actually, you know what? I will admit, I did have a huge issue when, like, Link Joker started being like, oh yeah, that card you had on your hand, like, put it face down on the thing. Oh, that lock card you have, oh, let's put it into the in the damage zone.
You literally described Deluge, dude. You literally just
Deluge was my major issue with Link Joker.
You sure Deluge was your issue and not Messiah?
Messiah, see, yeah, Messiah was dumb too, but I would, okay, actually, now that I think about it, Messiah, the fact that Messiah could get through Octorandus and Gridor is dumb as hell.
Yeah.
but I would rather it do that than have my cards getting ripped from my hand to lock something when I tried my hardest to not have anything for you to lock.
Yeah, no, for sure, for sure. Yeah. It's just hilarious because, like, I remember using Ideal Ego, Mega Messiah, and it's like I had those already on board already. And so you're like, oh, hey, you can't call anything on that column. It's like, okay, sure. Attack with Mega. Okay, call this as locked. But it's not, or put this card here as locked. It's not a call. Nope. Because it's a locked card. I'm like, it's like, oh, hey, yeah. It's like, oh, yeah, nice effect, Redora. My deck doesn't really give a crap about it.
See,
and let me just unlock all of it and just do it all again. It's like, what?
See, the way I cope with this is that not many people really play Messiah, so I don't necessarily have to worry about it.
You're not wrong. I'm in the minority on that because not many people want to play that idea or play the yeah. Not many people play like I do. So
and then seeing that, like, it's not really talked about much because Megacolony already has a small player base. So it's like when you like talk to like people like the normies of Vanguard, you don't necessarily think about that combo.
Yeah. Good times, good times.
Good times.
Yeah.
Well, that's about it for the sets and everything like that. So
yeah,
I already know for a fact that you're gonna be playing the Star Vader thing in both V Premium and Premium. But
yep.
As far as Kagero goes, are you gonna be playing the Seal Dragon support in any of the formats?
Nope. Unfortunately, no, and mostly because of the fact that I don't have cross origin or any of that stuff. I only have Overlord stuff, and a lot of the old generics. So playing Blockade is kind of a redundant card, or like it's redundant to pick it up because none of my stuff supports it. So at that point in time, I might as well just run. Since I already have cards like Dauntless and Soen and stuff, I might as well just stick with that.
True.
Yeah. So set 1 is probably the ones that I'm not really gonna pick up.
I don't blame, because I know you already have like the promo card too. So
yeah, Burning Horn. Yeah, I already have it. All of those cards is. I just kind of looked at it and I was like, well, I don't really need anything in here. There's really no point. If anything, set 2 is definitely my game. So yeah, unfortunately, Bushi kind of just screwed over set 1.
They kind of did.
Yeah, but I mean that doesn't mean it's bad. I mean, some people do like some of the stuff in set 1, so I mean, can't really complain about that.
Hey man, set 1 gives us a way to Legion onto your rearguard circle.
Yeah. I mean, technically speaking, you think about it, Thing Saver can do that.
Yeah, you're right.
Because it involves. Okay, now what people might not realize, people are probably going to be wondering, like, oh, how are you supposed to Legion on the Vanguard circle? Well, if you think about it, you use the OG Thing Saver. And you bring out the new Thing Saver, and through the OG Thing Saver's effect, you forcefully Legion. So, technically speaking, your new Thing Saver, would just get Legioned in with, with the Blaster Blade. Blaster Blade Seeker. Yeah. Although, I don't know how that's gonna work, because, I mean, the new Thing Saver doesn't have the Legion thing to get the extra power boost.
I think I think the way it's probably going to work is it'll stay as Legion for the turn, but then at the end of the turn, it'll unlegion itself.
Maybe, but I mean that only really works with that only applies to say Stride, because Stride disappears. it's not like the Vanguard disappears.
Yeah,
Like,
that's true. That's true.
it just stays there. So I mean, yeah, it stays in Legion mode. But I'm wondering, like, how would that work? You know, with OG Thingsabers affect the Force Legion, the new Thingsaber.
Well, I guess it's time for you to get it in touch with a head judge then.
We'll see. I mean, yeah, I guess we'll have to find out because I mean, it's tricky. It's tricky to see what they're gonna plan, like how they're gonna show. Like, I understand it's not a Legion, but it's, you know, a Force Legion kind of thing.
True.
Yeah. But I think the Legion the Icon Legion is mostly just to be able to perform Legion. So it doesn't really say anything. So you could technically I feel like you would actually just attack and you would rest both of them and you just combine the attack power. So in that case, it'd be a 23k attacker. On top of being able to call another Blaster Blade Seeker onto the rear. So I guess, like, it's possible. So, I don't know. I guess we'll see. We'll see what they decide to say about this. So,
man, who would have thought, like, combining OG Thingsaber and new Thingsaber is, like, would be, like, the most confusing thing.
I mean, people were thinking about how Draconic Overlord the Cross legions with new end and stuff, but then it's like you are basing it off of original Cross, so it didn't really confuse it that much. But yeah,
True.
Still, though, I mean,
all right, that's the show for today. We did like a lot of talking. I think this will be like over 2 hours. I think actually.
It felt like 2-3 hours already, so I mean, I'm not doubting that.
All right, so where can we find you, fam?
You can find me on you know, the Chaos Breaker page. So if you just look under Starvader Chaos Breaker, you should be able to find me. Otherwise, you know, I do, well, it's been a while since I streamed, but I mean, I do stream as well, and yeah, it's I'll be around. It's hard to, you know, keep track, because I mean, life is a thing. So, but you can definitely see me or find me on Chaos Breaker, like the page, Starvader Chaos Breaker Dragon. So.
Okay.
Yeah. I haven't really touched YouTube for a long time, so unfortunately.
I'm just now getting back into it, and
yeah. Mine is like, if work didn't really take my time that much, you know, I'd consider, but can't do much.
Yeah, because adulting is like hella hard, and it takes up everybody's time.
Oh yeah, especially when you get out at like 6 or something. Yeah.
But all right, man, that's the show.
Yeah.
This has been
Hey, thanks for having me. You know, I'm just gonna say that. And
oh, what happened?
No, that's it.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Oh, it's okay, man. Like, thank you for definitely thank you for coming to the show, man. Thank you.
Oh, heck yeah.
All right, so that's the show, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Basically, I'm going to spend this whole month just talking about these three sets. Because you have both of the V collections and then the Revival collection. So that's going to be basically my topic for this whole month.
Right.
Alright, with that being said, we are signing out.
See y'all.